good morning, everybody. Ben and Woods, 97.3, The Fan. Hopefully that sounds good to everybody. I am broadcasting live from my home in Encinitas here on the mainland. It is good to be with you guys this morning. I am Woodsy. Paul Reindl is your executive producer of Ben and Woods. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Doing good, man. You sound good in my ear. I'm going to turn you up just a touch there. Sounds good. And Benjamin Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well. Benjamin, good morning.
Good morning. Wow. You're once again broadcasting remotely, already 1 foot out of the door after signing our new contract extension.
Yeah, I'm thinking about making this a more permanent thing.
Well, maybe that's why the headline this morning, I just opened this up, like right before the show. Barrett Sports Media, the trades covering the radio industry nationally, put out the big story when we did our interview, about a week ago.
Yeah.
It says, the headline is why Ben and Wood's latest extension could be their grand finale.
That's right.
97.3 The Fan. What?
Yeah.
Wait, what am I missing here? Did you say something in this interview that I missed?
Well, I mean, if you had actually stayed on the interview and not had lunch in the middle of it,
True,
and then not abandoned us twice during the interview
to interview Dan Fouts,
to interview Dan Fouts.
I know exactly what happened. Yeah, Ben won up you guys. He just said, "Hey, I'll be right back. I got Dan Fouts on the other line," and then
no, Paulie, hold on, Paulie. He said it like this: "Hey guys, can you hang on for a second? I gotta go. I got Dan Fouts on the other line." And
then he drops the Zoom meeting that you were on, and then you go, "This MFer, let me tell you,
this is
John.
it. This is it, John." It's things like this that have pushed me to my edge. No, that's nothing like that at all.
I did see that headline though, and I haven't read the story. I go, what the hell happened? Like I thought everything was
here's
good.
The quote that you gave. He says, honestly, if I had my way, this would be the last contract, maybe.
There you go. There you go. Maybe.
Were you that frustrated with me? Is that I'm sorry.
Not even a little. Okay. No, quite the opposite. It was It's like I said it's been, anything past this is gravy. I said, but my biggest fear is aging out of the demo and clinging desperately to relevance, which, my God, if we don't see it every single day, and I said in the article, there's something romantic. Nobody in this business gets to go out on their own terms. And I said, it's important to me to be able to do that at some point. And whether that's in 3 years or 6 years or 9 years or whatever, that's important to me. And
sorry.
And so a
little peckish this morning.
I was just kind of telling him that. And then, but I did say, like, it's going great. Like my wife tells me I act like I'm 12. So I actually have a long way to age out of the demo. Age is just a number at this point. 54 is kind of the adults, 25, 54. I'll be 54 in 3 years. And that's that. So, nothing is set in stone. Also, the funny thing is now I already got Adam spun out about the next contract. So that's great. That's exactly what we want.
Always a plus.
It's always a plus. The reason I'm broadcasting from home today is because my little guy, who is standing in front of me in his underwear, is starting kindergarten today. And I could not miss that for the world. Oh, speak of the devil. Come on in here and say hello. You have no clothes on here. Just his undies. Hey, say good
Taylor.
Morning, everybody.
Happy first day of school.
Hi, Tay.
Happy first day of school.
You excited for kindergarten, buddy?
You excited for kindergarten?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to crush it. You got so many friends in your class. All right, you go get dressed and get breakfast, and we'll go take you to kindergarten here in a little bit. I love you. Proud of you. He is fired up. He got all his school supplies yesterday and got to pick out all his folders. And
nice.
Where do you see the getup that he's in today? And when I say get up, I mean get up. He's dressed in full base. There's this baseball lifestyle brand that they all like, and they've got ice cream cones,
ice cream
and all
stuff,
kinds
right?
of,
yeah.
They got ice cream.
Dick's Sporting Goods. It's like taken over. Yeah,
it's taken over. Whoever these people
sprinkles
are, they're billionaires. Sprinkles, you name it.
Yeah,
and smiley faces. So he is going to be
head to toe. They're not super bright colors, though, right?
Super bright.
Yeah. Okay.
Super bright colors. Day one, he is going to be head to toe cotton candy. He's got cotton candy all over his stuff. His backpack is cotton candy. He's got cotton candy everywhere. So that's what he's going to wear to school today. So that's why I'm broadcasting from home. I'm going to work for like an hour and a half. split, go drop them off, come back and finish up the show. Hopefully do take on Woods later in the show.
I am glad that you're getting to go. First day of kindergarten only happens once. And
yeah.
You know what? It's a big milestone in any child's life.
It is, man. And he's been pretty nervous. My wife and I have found about our kids, if we discuss anything at all, if we express any sort of trepidation from our end, they're done. Their brains start going haywire.
They feed off of your energy.
Paulie, it's like the number one thing I would tell a new parent: just keep your mouth shut. Don't talk to your children. Is my number one thing.
Just shut up.
Ever. Don't say a word around them about anything unless it's positive, because they will start spinning out and they feed off of your energy. And I think kids do the same with coaches. I think they do the same with teachers. I think the less you can say, the better. Really, like the less you can say, the better. So he's getting a little bit spun out about it. So
it's actually exactly how Paul and I handle you as well. Yeah. I mean, just everything's fine, Woods. Don't worry about it. We're good as long as we don't act like we're concerned. We hope that you don't get spun out either.
Are you doing this again? Are we doing it every time I put this remote headset on? It's just Bash Woods morning. Is that what we're gonna do? No, but it's so true. Like, they feed so much off of what you're putting out there. And, we've been doing this 8 years now, and we're still learning every single day. But holy cow, dude, he'll spin himself into a tizzy. So hopefully it goes smoothly. I wanted to make sure I was there for that this morning, because I do always feel bad.
It's good parenting.
I feel bad heaping it on Hannah, to deal with while I'm in there talking about wieners and farts and baseball and all that other stuff. So
you're going to set him up for hopefully a very good year. Was that you, Paul?
Yeah, it should be. Got a lot of friends in the class and likes his teacher, and it's good. We are in the midst of it right now, so it's really good. But
Bobo's first day too, or just Taylor? Both?
Yeah, same school too.
Same school, which is rad. Bobo will be starting third grade today, which is such a big year. You guys remember third grade?
Third grade was cursive for us.
Felt like third grade was the start of a little more. I mean, serious. School.
Oh yeah,
felt real. Like second grade was a transition, and then third grade it was like, okay, it's on now.
Third grade, I remember
it's kind of go time.
A lot of like Native American history, learning about like America, and then fourth grade I remember was more state history, and then fifth grade they kind of transition. You get into like more math and science stuff. That's at least how it went for me.
No, they're deep in math already. They are deep. They were in math in second grade. Yeah, you showed us
Bo's math last school year, and we couldn't do it. It made no sense.
I had a huge problem with it. But no, man, I told Bo, I said, hey, just so you know, third grade is when your permanent record starts. Just so you know, your permanent record. Now everything is on your permanent record if you do anything wrong. So he's kind of a worry ward. He's not too worried about it.
Well, don't even explain to Taylor what a permanent record is. That might spin him out.
No, not even close. I loved Ben yesterday. You had a little moment there at the ballpark.
I did.
Before the game.
Got mud bomb before the game. I was down there, went into the clubhouse to get some sound, do a little preview of the Milwaukee Brewers series. Talked to both Luis Rengifo and Austin Hayes for the first time. Chatted with Gavin Sheets for a couple of minutes. Saw all of our friends in the media down there. Buddy Black came by and said hello, said, when are we playing golf? Which was exciting to me. I said, I'll text you, and we will definitely set up around a golf. So that was fun. And
Did you say, sorry, buddy, I only have eyes for Tim Stauffer?
Well, I thought maybe we could do like
a foursome
would be, or a threesome would be fun with me
and
Buddy Black and Tim Stauffer. A couple ex-pitchers. Buddy managed Tim Stauffer, so I hope they get along and know each other. So that's something I can look forward to in the future. But then I walked out to Tony Gwynn Drive there, right outside of Petco Park. It got the good backdrop with the stadium, Petco Park sign right on top. I set up my camera to do my stand-up, record my piece that goes on air later that evening on Channel 10. Got it all set up, ready to go, kind of thinking of what I'm going to say, potential. Yeah, this is the kind of series that you need to you need to win. If you want to be a playoff team, want to have success in the playoffs, these are the kind of teams you're going to need to beat in October. It's kind of the gist of my piece. So kind of standing there with my microphone, and then out of the corner of my eye, I see someone walking. I'm staring at the camera, but out of the corner of my eye, I see someone walking kind of behind me. Now,
like your peripheral there.
When you're down there by the bridge, there are a few people. There's an unhoused gentleman named Henry who I've dealt with a couple of times. Does not he very talkative fellow. I've actually needed Petco Park security. Has kind of bailed me out a couple of times just to distract him so I can get my work done because he is.
Did you say you dealt with him a couple of times?
Petco Park security just to help me so I can finish my work because he makes it difficult.
Security on him.
I didn't call him. They came up in a cart and helped me out before, and I thought,
him down.
This is possibly him, which is okay. I mean, it's the gentleman obviously, had some issues, needs some help, but I have a lot of empathy for him as well. I've talked to him as well. I've talked to him for like 30 minutes before while I was out there. But I was like,
I bet that was one of the worst conversations of his entire life, if I had to guess, talking to you for 30 minutes as you're going, yep, yeah, sure, sure, just trying to get in your car is my guess.
It was probably similar to that, yes.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm thinking, who is this? And then I can see because I have my screen, I have it flipped so I can see myself in the camera, and then I see this guy jumping.
Okay. Think. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Think. Okay. All right. Okay. Think. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Think. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Think. Okay. All right.
All right. Enough.
My favorite.
So I see in my little mini screen on my camera this guy jumping up and down behind me in my live shot, waving like some Yahoo trying to get on television. It's too early in the day for this. Game doesn't even start for 3 more hours. And I turn around, and of course, it is Mark Grant, who is
Mud Grant,
just bombing amazing me in the back of the. Go ahead.
2-1. The Padres will also need more contributions from their.
Iggy!
Oh, you're the best.
That is it's funny. Even though it was mud, Pauline, you agree with me? Even though it was mud, he still looked a little bit annoyed. He did.
Yeah.
He looked a little bit annoyed.
I didn't know it was mud in the beginning. I thought maybe Henry or some other guy. Obviously when I realized it was mud, it was the annoyance was still there, but it dissipated quickly. And I go, okay, that's funny. Dang it.
It's so good, man. Look, he deals with me. He deals with me at work, and then he's got to go to Petco Park, and there's mud doing bits behind him the whole time. I love it. He is the greatest. That's actually like a not a rite of passage, but like it makes you feel good.
Oh,
like
yeah.
You don't mind when mud, busts your chops or anything.
Not at all. In fact,
speaking of mud. This is, I hope I don't get in trouble for telling this, but this isn't about mud. But so mud will often quote movies in the in the broadcast. And I have to give my 8-year-old credit, man. He dropped one on us last night that had I had snot bubbles coming out of my nose. You guys have all seen the movie Fletch, right?
Yes.
So there's a scene when he goes and he is in the doctor's office and he's talking to the doctor, and the doctor puts on the glove and gets his fingers in the jelly. All right. We all know the scene. And last night, Bo goes, "Mom, my butt is like it's sore." And she goes, "Well, here, let me just put some cream on it. You got school starting tomorrow." And so he goes in there, and she does, and he literally says to her,
"Your wife is telling you to stop right now."
I know. Chat. He says to her, "You using the whole fist, Doc?" Just like the movie Fletch, off the top of his head. And I thought to myself, he is my perfect child. I was so proud of him that he did that. And he crushed it. See, I don't know why she wouldn't want me to tell that story. It's great. All little kids need cream on their butt sometimes. It happens.
I tried.
It's not a big deal. You tried what?
To stop you.
You tried to, Paulie tried to stop me, but He didn't do it. And he hit her with that, and we started laughing so hard. You using the whole fist, Doc, is the greatest.
Next time we get him a Moon River.
Yeah, Moon River. You ever surf time?
That is, and he didn't miss a beat. Like, that is elite.
Didn't miss a beat.
That's
didn't
good.
miss a beat. He is an absolute. And the thing about Bo is like he'll surprise you with it. You don't know. Like, I mean, he's seen that movie 1,000 times. But like I was not expecting that, and he freaking nailed it. So I was very proud of him for that. Went to the dentist yesterday, got in the chair, and I've been taking really good care of my teeth. Right, I've quit chew and all that. So was actually looking forward to going in to the dentist, and they clean me up. And when they get that polisher out, you're like, I'm in the clear. I've made it. Right, when they get the polisher. And she's just going to, all around the teeth. You're like, I'm good. I'm set. And she polishes me up. She goes, ooh, got one more little stain I'm going to work on. So she scrapes the stain. She gets it. And I'm like, all right, I'm in the clear. Now, they had done some scans on my mouth. And doctor's going to come in, and he's going to take a look. So usually he walks in, and he's like, hey, Woodsy, how you doing? Good to see you. See you guys are having a great summer. Saw you were in Hawaii. And I'm like, I see you tearing it up, doing all the things you do. And we just shoot the breeze. My beloved Dr. Skeens. There's nobody better. And so he comes in, and the scans are up on the wall, and he goes, "Ooh,
no!"
I go, well, what do we got? And he's like, "Huh? You see this? Okay, you see this back tooth?" I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "You see this right here? This like white area?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, you see this black area like here?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, here's your nerves. Here's what's left of this. You're going to need a root canal. And I went, now, I don't know. I don't think I've ever had a root canal. I feel like I would remember
I think you would know.
Anybody, I feel like you'd know. I feel if somebody I need somebody in the chat, scale of 1 to 10. How much pain am I looking forward to? Be honest with me. I don't think I've had one before.
I've never had one either. But just the name alone inspires a lot of terror. They really, horrible. Whoever is in charge of PR for root canals,
for dentists,
really messed up on the naming of the procedure. They could have come up with something probably a little softer sounding that wouldn't have terrified people quite as much, because you hear the word root involved with your teeth, and then you hear the word canal, which just
that can't be good.
Just that sounds like a big giant hole somewhere. It's just an awful name for any sort of procedure.
Yeah, it sounds terrible. It's one of the worst names of something that you could.
Oscar says it sounds way worse than it is. 3.
Okay, not bad. Is there a chance that they can knock me out entirely?
Don't know.
Okay, well, I got to schedule that. And how long will I be out of commission? Like 2 weeks?
I was thinking like a couple hours.
I think.
I thought it would be like a couple weeks off the air.
Outpatient procedure. I don't think.
Are you sure?
Admit you to the hospital or anything to get your root canal. So
it's in the way back. And so I asked him, I go, so what is this from? And he's like, well, I know you chew on a lot of stuff. So my chewing pens and stuff has really got to me. And he said, look, if it breaks through, it's even worse. So we just need to knock it out now. Preventative, basically.
The part that
be awful.
The part that bothers me, well, I mean, there's a lot of, I don't like dental procedures. I'm sure no one does. The sounds always get to me of the tools and the scraping.
Oh, it got me.
But then when you are going beyond just the cleaning, and they have to put the clamp in, so you can't close your mouth, and it's like fixed, and you're not in control of keeping your mouth open or closed anymore. That's a really uncomfortable. Still talking
to you as if you can have a full conversation.
That's an uncomfortable feeling as well.
I don't know how it's going to go in October, but hope they get there.
Calci.
Yeah. If we just hit in October, we're going to be fine. I don't know if Stanley's going to be a great manager or not.
Stacy says they can knock you out, but it costs more. No problem. That is something I will pay for. I'll take some Xanax and maybe some nitrous, and then put my headphones on, and then I can everything. Like I can drive myself to and fro and all that. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah, I think you can drive yourself to and from a root canal.
All right. Well, I got that to look forward to. I'll try to do it on a Friday so I can do it after the show and be ready to roll on a Monday. And man, milk a little TLC from the misses out of it too. Perhaps you never know. Let's get cranky, man. That's one of my favorite wins of the year last night. Just how you drew it up.
2 in a row. Honestly, I think there's something magical when one of your star players hits a home run that takes you from losing to being ahead. There's a lot of great moments in baseball. A tying home run's awesome when you're tied, a go-ahead home run. But when your team is losing by however many runs, 1, 2, or 3, and then they hit a multi-run home run that puts you ahead by a certain number of runs, I don't know what it is, but that's always, to me, like the most magical part of baseball. The Padres have had 2 of those in the last 2 games with Fernando Tatis Jr. and now Jackson Merrill doing it last night in a huge situation. We will talk all about it. We will set the menu. We're going to have a bit of a break from Woods in the middle of the show as he takes his kids to kindergarten, but then he'll be back. We will have Jesse Agler joining us, but we'll let you know all about it coming up as we get started here on a Tuesday morning, a Victory Tuesday. Padres have won 3 in a row. Get you more with Ben and Woods coming up here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, want to talk about my friends at Trajan Wealth. Retirement is not that far away, and I'm speaking to everybody out there. Unless you're already retired, if you are working, if you are trying to set aside a little bit of money here and there to have a retirement here in San Diego, you have to know that it's expensive to live here in San Diego, and you don't want to be worrying the whole time that your money's going to run out during retirement. Trajan Wealth understands that. They are local. They have offices at Liberty Station, Carlsbad, and Escondido, and they want to help you plan for a good future retirement here in San Diego. Their fiduciary advisors help people build retirement strategies designed for reality, factoring in inflation, market uncertainty, and the real cost of living. So, take the time to talk to one of their advisors. You can give them a call like I did. I got the process started. Call 1-855-TRAJAN1, 1-855-TRAJAN1, or you can just go online and check them out at trajanwealth.com. Get that peace of mind you are looking for, whether it's 10 years away, 20 years away, or even 30 years away. You can start right now and have that confidence moving forward with Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth LLC. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Actual client, paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Not that now.
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Ben and Woods brought to you by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Said you got some texts you wanted to share with us?
Yeah, just in a row. We
Okay.
just talked about the root canal.
Right.
We got one from our pal Brian Lawrence, B-Law, former Padres pitcher. He says root canal's nothing as long as they numb it well. I read it in his voice too.
B-Law's a real man, though.
He like hunts and stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's a real, like he knows how to like set up a tent. He knows how to, he could probably do like a transmission if he wanted to, you know, like I had to just change out my transmission. They
I
still
feel
do
like
that?
your
Or
wife
carburetor?
could do all these things too, though.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So B-Law says root canal's nothing as long as they numb it well. And then I got another text from my pal Justin says, do not let that get worse. Just get it done. I promise you it's not that bad. I couldn't feel a thing for 6 hours after. And then I got another one from my buddy Brian says, brother, do not get a root canal. They're a scam. Look it up. And I'm sitting here going, oh my God.
It's all a ploy by big dentistry.
It's all my big tooth.
Big
really
tooth.
Is after me, dude. And so I just go, All right. Well, I don't really feel all that much better. It's one of those things I'm just going to have to experience on my own.
Can you imagine if the entire medical industry was just a big scam?
I mean, it is just it's incredible. So I'm
all these pitchers thinking they got Tommy John surgery. Come on.
Your arm's actually fine, to be honest. You could go, but we wanted to get you in here ASAP. But so that is just incredible. Oh God, I wonder if it matters what tooth it is, because mine's the top right, very back one. So they're gonna, automatically they're gonna have to like rip your mouth open, like to get back in there. I just the teeth just gross me out. They just gross me out, and apparently mine are disgusting. So I need to get that done. But
not my favorite thing either. Before we get to our MLB, let's see what we got. Oh yeah, we got our wrap up coming up of the winning highlights of last night's game. Did want to mention ran into Joe Musgrove. He did one of his media scrums yesterday in the clubhouse.
Yep.
Forthcoming as always. Joe, as he likes to do, opined about how he was feeling, and he was feeling good. I mean, you could tell
he's confident.
Joe was like, I feel as good as I've felt in a long time now, coming off of his last rehab start. Said really couldn't feel any better. Felt like he touched 95, maybe even 96 on the radar gun. Has been able to adjust some of his grips and stuff, is really starting to lock in with where he feels comfortable, can get, through a start pain-free and recover fairly quickly. And
I watched the video that Sammy posted on 97.3, and I couldn't tell totally from the video, but it looked like Joe looked really good. Like he looked like strong. He looked fit. He looked ready to go.
He did. And he was confident. He did say that he had spoken a little bit with AJ, doesn't know exactly what they want to do with him, because we talked about the idea of piggybacking him with, three or four innings. And he said, I don't think they need more of that. I think they want me stretched out where I can go for a full start if they need me for 5, 6, hopefully even 7 innings. So he thought
we got to all tap the brakes here. Holy smokes, 5, 6, 7 innings.
This is what Joe thinks. So
I know.
That's why he said he's probably going to have 2 more rehab starts, because he wants to stretch out a little further so he can go deeper into games. We had kind of thought maybe just 1. He said if everything goes perfectly, maybe it's just 1, but in his mind, probably going to do 2 more rehab starts before potentially returning to the Padres rotation, which would be in just about 2 weeks then, if he has 2 more rehab starts, and hopefully contributing the rest of the season and into October if the Padres get there.
Yeah, 100%. I think we get ahead of ourselves. We players a lot. I do. I think I'm certainly, in my mind at least, going to downplay it mentally and kind of not expect it, and that always leads to kind of a better result for me personally, because I think with Joe, I mean he's seen it go. He's seen it go just like that. The whole deal disappear for a year. We've seen it before, and I want him back, and I want him feeling as good as he can. Anything we get from Joe Musgrove right now is truly extra at this point. So I'm just trying to mute my expectations for Joe, because I don't want to get my hopes up, because I love that dude. I love that dude. And you can't quantify the emotional lift it would mean for his teammates to see him back on the field.
Meanwhile, a lot more uncertainty about Nick Pivetta, who threw a bullpen, but not a full bullpen, and clearly is going to need to kind of figure out the next steps forward. There's no rehab start scheduled right now, which means it is now official. He's not going to make it back in time for the August 22nd deadline in his contract, which will convert his player options for the next 2 seasons into a team option. And as we spoke with Dennis Lynn yesterday from The Athletic, Padres likely will not pick up those options unless they really feel good about where he is in the last month of the season and his health. Doesn't mean that he can't return on a new deal of some sort next year, but it's going to cost Nick Pivetta potentially a lot of guaranteed money that he wasn't able to make it back, which is a bummer for him. He is still, however, absolutely trying to pitch again this season and get back. It just won't be until probably September at the earliest, even if things go well. So kind of a bummer there for Nick Pivetta and the Padres.
Yeah, big one.
All right, here's what we got coming up in the program today. We'll get to the highlights in just a moment. In our 7 o'clock hour, we'll lose Woods temporarily as he takes Taylor to kindergarten for the first day, but we will still do our MLB reach around. We've got Don't Do This, and how about this little special baseball guest, Jesse Tuesday. Jesse Rogers from ESPN is going to join us. We'll talk about the wild card race, some of the top stories in Major League Baseball. We'll hit on the Padres from his perspective as well. Got 2 great stories in Chicago where he's based with both the Cubs and the White Sox, looking like they are playoff bound for October. So we'll talk to Jesse Rogers at 7:35. All guests on Ben and Woods appear on the SDCCU fan hotline. It's not Big Bang Banking, it's better. And then in our 8 o'clock hour, we'll continue our Jesse Tuesday with Jesse Agler, the voice of the San Diego Padres. We'll give him an incorporator word on to the letter S for Jesse as we get near the end of the season. Just 7 weeks left in the baseball season starting this week. And then in our 9 o'clock hour, we should have Woods back by then, or even by the time Jesse joins us at 8:35.
That's my goal.
Get some headlines in the Roundel Report and get you ready for Game 2 of the series against the Milwaukee Brewers coming up a little bit later today. Broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios, we know how. It's Ben and Woods. Let's check traffic, and then we will come back with all the highlights of a 3rd straight win for your San Diego Padres here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's your latest traffic update.
El Cajon to and through La Mesa and into San Diego toward Ocean Beach. The westbound 8 is moving along at the speed limit. Joey Vlasny with Odyssey San Diego traffic.
Traffic report brought to you by Soapy Joe's. It's always car wash season at Soapy Joe's. Stop by any of our 25-plus convenient locations for good, clean shine and receive $10 off your first month at any wash club level. Visit SoapyJoesCarWash.com to become a member today. Give us a follow at Soapy Joe's for more good, clean fun.
I love winning, man. I love winning. You hear what I'm saying? It's like better than losing. Are you ready?
How did things play out in yesterday's game?
I liked last night's game.
It's time for the
Padres wrap-up
with Ben and Woods.
You guys are the voice of San Diego.
Brought to you by Hamul Casino Resort. Hey, player, the rooftop pool's open. Day passes are available, and the spa is calling your name. Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
Send in the air, deep to left field. Rengifo's going back at the wall, looking up. It's going to go. Opposite field home run for Yelich on the first pitch that he sees. And the Brewers go ahead 2-0. Ty hits it on a line to deep left field. Churio not going to get there because this one going to go. Line drive, home run, Ty France. Just clears the fence in left field. And the Padres answer back as France hits his 17th home run of the year. 2-2. And Vaughn a little number to the right of the mound off the end of the bat, charged by Cronenworth. Long glove flip is in time. What a play by Jake Cronenworth. Mize trying to track it down, couldn't get there, but Jake did. And the Cronin flip for out number 1. 3-2 to Hamilton. Matsui delivers and a ground ball to first base. France has it behind the bag. Underhand flip. Matsui covers and gets there just before the speedy runner to end a 1-2-3. Top of the 7th inning. 1-1. Merrill in the air, deep to center field. Mitchell's back at the wall. This one gonna go. Jackson Merrill puts the Padres ahead. His 3rd home run in as many games. And for the first time tonight, the Padres lead. It's 3-2. 1 pitch. Bowers on the ground to the right side. Cronenworth has it. Long throw to second one. Song's turned to first in time. And a double play to end the inning. 1-1. Miller deals. Lockridge runs. The pitch is low. Fermin's throw. The tag. He is out at second. And the ball game is over. Freddie Fermin throws out Brandon Lockridge trying to steal second to end the game. Mason Miller collects his 30th save as the Padres win it 3-2.
It's not always what happens to you, but what you do after that. And he put his nose to the grindstone this week and got ready for a start. You know, gave up a home run, could have derailed his day, but he stuck with it, showed his toughness, got us through 6 innings, and kept us in the ball game.
Keep asking you about Jackson. I'm sure you don't mind when they're game-winning homers. Is there anything about tonight where you're like, you had a feeling like, hey, this guy's going up there?
Yeah, I think anytime right now, the way he's taking at bats, he can hit about anything out. You know, he was really struggling with that high fastball there for a while, and now he's starting to tag a few of those. You know, he just missed one earlier in the game, and then, you know, it was just at that time of the game where their starting pitcher was wearing down just a little bit. You know, velocity just started to creep down, and, you know, Ty gets on with the big base hit, and then Jackson, you know, puts him away with the homer to dead center. It was awesome.
And Padres win it 3-2 and remain a game behind the Phillies and Diamondbacks for the final wild card spot. Get to that on our MLB reach around. But I thought it was a good point they made during the broadcast that Logan Henderson had never pitched into the seventh inning before, but he had been efficient, and the Brewers had torched their bullpen in extra innings over the weekend, flown in. So they were trying to probably stretch him a little bit more and get a little bit too much out of him going into that last inning, and it ended up burning Pat Murphy that he left. Logan Henderson, who was fantastic, by the way, up until that point, just kept him in just a little bit too long, and the Padres took advantage of that, Woods.
Yeah, if you are Brewers flagship this morning, I don't imagine that you're that upset about leaving Logan Henderson. And he was as locked in and dialed in as anybody you'd seen, pounding the zone, commanding all of his pitches, made guys look really foolish with that changeup at times, dotting his fastball where he wanted it. It was objectively, if we lost 2-1 last night, I would have come on this morning and said that was a great baseball game. That was a well-pitched baseball game. I enjoyed watching Casey Mize pitch so much last night, and I really enjoyed watching Logan Henderson pitch as well. And Jackson Merrill, luckily, with that one big swing, gave us the win. And of course, the other great defensive plays, the Sung Moon Song play at second base with when Jake did that, in my opinion, probably an ill-advised flip there, kind of take the out. That's the kind of thing that the Brewers do, Benny. They will take that tourniquet and they'll just twist it around your neck, and they keep pressing and pushing the issue. And they're, as we said yesterday, they're pesky. They are pesky, but you out-peskied the pesky last night and got that huge win.
Well, let's talk about Casey Mize coming off just the disastrously bad debut with the San Diego Padres. Worst start of his career. I've got to imagine he was feeling a little extra pressure, pitching in front of a very large crowd for his new home team for the first time at Petco Park. And then in the second inning, gives up the 2-run home run to Christian Yelich. You're not a doomer if at that moment you thought, oh no, this is going to start going the wrong way again for Casey Mize. And immediately gave up a single, and then it looked like potentially another one. It was overturned on the song Snow Cone catch there at second base with a nice challenge. By the way, who is it? Jim McHugh, who is in the video room for the San Diego Padres, the unknown face that tells Craig Stammen whether or not to replay challenge. That didn't even look in like real time, like one that you'd even think about looking at. Like, oh no, clearly he was off the base. He was lucky to even grab the ball. There's no way that was an out. And they were on top of it enough to challenge. Challenge what? It's like, oh, wait, actually he did get that baseball in his glove and his toe was still on the bag. It may have changed the whole course of, Casey Mize's night and now Casey Mize's 2 months here with the San Diego Padres. He needed something good to happen. And after that happened, he locked in and pitched really well and got through 6 innings, did not give up any more runs, did not get the win, but doesn't matter. He gave his team a chance to win from that point on, which is what the Padres are looking for from both him and Robbie Ray. They're 2 trade deadline acquisitions. And yeah, he doesn't overpower you, Woods, but he had a nice mix. He seemed to work with Freddie Fermin really well. And I liked what I saw from Casey Mize last night.
Yeah. Filled it up, dude. That's really what it's all about, and got good defense behind him. It was an exceptional baseball game. It was just an exceptional baseball game. Yeah, you never love when your offense goes ice cold for 13, 14 hitters or something in a row, but he's a tough customer. Like that's a playoff game. That was a playoff game. That was Casey Mize against Logan Henderson, probably 2 teams, number 2, maybe 3 starter. It's exactly what it was in front of a sold-out, raucous Petco Park. That's it right there. Felt like a playoff game. It looked like a playoff game. It had the intensity of a playoff game. They were playing hard. We were playing hard. I thought it was exceptional. 2 exceptional baseball games in a row from this team. And Ty France, this team's ability to get down and then immediately hit a home run, even if it just cuts, you're still behind.
Right.
But it says
something.
It's something, man. Like Ty France was fantastic. And this kind of blew my mind. So I think it was the Adrian Morahone double play that he got in was it the 8th?
Yes, 8th inning.
Yeah. So I've seen, and you guys will probably know this, you watch all the games. How many balls have we had hit medium speed, medium depth that are flipped to Xander at second or at short, and then we don't get the guy at first? Sometimes it's a matter of who the guy is running. Sometimes it's a matter of how hard the ball was hit. I get that. I feel like they're double plays that we leave on the table. I don't feel like we leave as many double plays on the table with Sung Moon Song playing short. I really don't. So I went to Savant and I go, is it just me or does Xander have a noodle arm? And Song doesn't? Quite the opposite. Would that surprise you if I told you Xander's arm is like twice as strong as Sung Moon Song's, which I couldn't believe.
Yeah,
based on Savant.
I mean, numbers wise,
like twice.
Yeah, I didn't think Xander had a noodle arm, but I don't think it's his greatest strength either.
No. And he's been fine defensively. This isn't really a shot at Xander. It was more of a surprise that Sung Moon Song has, by the metrics, a weak arm, because it certainly doesn't look like it did when he uncorks one.
But I think he is an upgrade defensively out there at shortstop when he plays. I'm not sure 100%. Again, not a shot at Xander, who's played really solid shortstop. I mean, Jake's played really well at second base for the most part, but I feel fine when Sung Moon Song is out there defensively. He's really capable. It's not easy to jump around different positions, obviously filling in for Manny at third when Manny's doing like DH days as well. He's done a nice job. He's never really gotten it totally going offensively, but it doesn't shock me now when he lines a single to, right field and, with the kind of weird swing that he's got going. But hopefully next year the offense will start catching up to the defense for Sung Moon Song as well. Game wasn't perfect. They did have the missed opportunity when Fermin led off with a double in the third inning. Song sacrificed him over, and Fernando was not able to get him in with one out and a runner at third. He hit the ball very, very hard on a drawn-in infield, and David Hamilton, the guy who was playing short, somehow found that ball in his glove, and the Padres were unable to tie it there. You felt like, that's going to come back to haunt the Padres. Not that, I guess Tatis wants to lift the ball there, but I'm never going to complain about a 98-mile-an-hour shot through a drawn-in infield. A lot of times that's going to end up a single, a run scored, keep the rally going, but didn't work out for the Padres yesterday, and I was worried that it was going to come back and bite them in the end.
Yeah, I just looked it up. Sung Moon Song with again, based on Savant, a 13 arm strength. Xander, somebody just said, Xander's got a cannon. Yeah, his is 33, so it's not
both
that
below
much.
Average.
Yeah,
both below average, but yeah, man, I feel like Song
you don't have a ton of confidence at the plate, but I guess I have more in Xander than Song.
big time. But it was one of those things I've noticed this year. I'm like, ground ball, second base. Oh no, we didn't get him. And again, sometimes it's a circumstance of the guy that's running down the line, how hard the ball was hit. All of those things come into play. But I do feel like, man, we've left some double plays on the table. It feels like this season. But no, Benny, you're absolutely right, man. It was kind of how you drew it up last night, getting that lead late. Mason Miller was talking about in AC's piece how, I've learned I don't put my feet up, right? Like this team's going to come back. They've done it so many times. You got to stay locked in the entire game.
And we almost take that bullpen for granted at this point, but do want to point out that amazing stat. I forget exactly how far back it went, but now after Yuki Matsui ended up getting the win and pitching another scoreless inning, Padres bullpen 10-0 in their last 10 decisions with an ERA of just over 2.5 at this point after 3 more scoreless innings last night. Adrian Morejon getting the job done after getting the single, that nice double play you were just talking about, Woods, and then Mason Miller striking out the first 2 guys and then lost command for a moment and was just all over the place in the walk. They bring in Brandon Lockridge, the former Padre, to pinch run. You have an idea of what they want to do. You cannot get an extra base hit off Mason Miller. So really the only theoretical way to score is get a kind of a walk or a hit batsman or whatever to get on first, steal second, and hope you can make some contact, bloop one in, or roll one through a hole somewhere. It's how they scored off of Mason Miller on Saturday when they won 3-2. Fortunately, had a 2-run lead, but Freddie Fermin did not let that happen. Made a perfect throw to end the game by nailing Brandon Lockridge at second base. Second time,
beautiful,
gunned down a runner at second base with some really nice play. And Freddie Fermin has turned it around. Was just an awful first half. Dealt with a lot of, foul tips off the mask, a trip to the concussion list, another trip to the injured list with a bruised forehead, which wasn't a concussion, but obviously was not great. And maybe we're finally seeing Freddie Fermin feeling good and healthy, and the results are coming. And, this is maybe why A.J. Preller actually did trade 2 controllable pitchers for Freddie Fermin last year. There's something in there. And Casey Mize also, after the game, talking about working with Freddie Fermin, saying, guy was really locked in, communicated well. They talked between innings about their plans. He only shook him off like twice at a creative pitch caller throughout the game. So a lot of praise for Freddie Fermin last night.
And a lot of praise for Casey Mize as well. I thought he did such a fantastic job last night, and that's what we're looking for. Right there is what you're looking for from Casey Mize. Again, filled it up, man. Like, they're going to get you sometimes. These guys are really good. But it's interesting because the long ball is not how the Brewers beat you, and they almost did last night with the long ball because that's how it always works.
One other stat from last night's game. No teams got a hit with runners in scoring position. Padres were 0 for 4. Brewers were 0 for 3 for the night. So Very it was nice. all the long ball last night and providing the offense. Another stat for you, courtesy of Fangraphs when we come back. Not going to stun you, but what the Padres are among the worst in baseball at coming up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Hour number 2 of Ben and Woods, broadcasting live from our Bill House studios. We know how. And, everyone in the YouTube chat figured it out quite quickly with my tease about what the Padres are around the worst in baseball at. Fangraphs has tried to put together, it's all new this year, but tried to put together a statistical analysis that they released this morning on effectiveness of ABS challenging. And when they put it all together, both opportunities, like challenges won and lost, but also opportunities missed, the leverage of the situation where the challenges are used, and they add it all up.
Kind of like a war, like an all-encompassing stat.
And they say it's pretty small, the data points and the differences are fairly minute. But the Padres came out to be the second worst team in baseball in effectively using their ABS challenges, which is frustrating. Did not have a bad day yesterday. We've seen both the Astros and now the Brewers and the Diamondbacks before that. None of those teams seem all that dialed in as well. You would have expected a team like the Brewers maybe to be a little more dialed in, but they missed some early. But, the Padres had a couple of correct ones from Freddie Fermin last night, even early when I see that tap of the head in the first inning. It always puts a pit in my
Even
stomach.
though I was sure it was a strike.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you were talking about. I was positive it was going to get overturned, but I was still like,
oh. It's one of those weird things. Like, if you're right, it's never a bad idea to challenge. But still, if it's a low leverage situation early in the game, man, how right do you have to know you are going to be? Because we have seen low leverage first inning challenges that are incorrect by the Padres. Saw one by Manny Machado 2 days ago, where first inning tapped his head and looked like he was stunned that it was a strike. And now you're kind of putting yourself in a bad situation for the rest of the game when you lose one of those challenges early. And we've seen that too often by the San Diego Padres.
Does that Fangraphs stat or formula or whatever take into account, like, would have been a good one to challenge here in the 8th inning if you had some, but you didn't?
I mean, I don't know if like specifically where they would have had them, but when you lose them early, that is an opportunity cost. There's opportunity lost when you lose challenges early. For later in the game, whether it comes up or not, you can never know whether it's going to be a situation. But I think it's fairly obvious. Most teams want to have a challenge going into the 9th inning, especially 100%. For their pitcher. If they have a lead, you want to have the ability to have a challenge in your pocket. In case it comes down to a close pitch on a 3-2. You don't want to put a tying run on or a go-ahead run on base where you don't have to. So you want to have that challenge in the 9th inning, especially when you're up.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. And I'm scrolling through these Fangraphs numbers. So ABS success and run value by team. I'm assuming that means I don't know what does that mean? Run value. So
I think when you use your challenges, how much does it help you either score runs if you're on offense or prevent the other team from scoring runs when you're on defense? Like the number of runs you've either added to your total or taken away from the other team, essentially with the challenges that you've used.
Minnesota, best team in baseball. The Athletics, the second best team in baseball. Cincinnati, Colorado, the Angels.
It doesn't seem to have anything to do
in baseball, right? Like some of the worst teams in baseball. The Tampa Bay Rays, by the way, the worst. So explain that to me.
One of the smartest teams in baseball.
Explain Tampa Bay being dead last in baseball at challenges. I mean, you would think those guys would have it clocked as well as anybody on the planet. Padres second worst. Yeah, it's crazy. Maybe it doesn't matter. I have no idea.
I don't know.
It certainly
it feels like it matters, but
it feels like it matters, and it certainly affects your viewing pleasure of the game. Does it not? I mean, you're watching the game and you're like, oh my God. Like you get furious at guys for challenge, like Manny just challenges willy-nilly whenever he wants and is rarely right. And the catchers, I thought that challenge last night, man, he missed, Fermin missed that one by what? A millimeter?
Less than 1/10 of an inch. I mean,
less than 1/10 of an inch.
When it has that less than symbol on it, it essentially, I believe I read this, because the system is not 100% like calibrated absolutely perfectly. When it's like less, it's like it can't even tell. It's so close. So it just goes with the original call. Like it was that close to being a strike on the borderline. But there's some of those balls that it's almost impossible even for the computer to determine whether or not it touched the edge of the zone because it was so close. I'm not going to be mad at Freddie for challenging that one. It was later in the game, fairly higher leverage, and they still had the one remaining, I believe. So, but it remains an issue. And I would think that most teams, hopefully the Padres included, this offseason will put together some sort of team, like a committee, that really goes through all the data and comes up with best practices that they can address in spring training next year. I get that this year that no one had any really idea of what they were doing and what was going to be the best way to approach it. They all were kind of guessing and had their ideas of, how are we going to prepare for ABS, and they practiced it in the, once or twice in the stadiums at, Peoria in the spring training during during days off. But now they really have some data and they can look at it and go, all right, we're going to make changes here, here, and here. We're going to work on this during spring training and really, make some points to our teams going into next season. That's what I would hope is going to happen this offseason, when it comes to the ABS challenges. I also hope, I want them to add a third one. I feel like three. I always said baseball is a game of threes, baby. 3 strikes, 3 outs. 3 should be the number of challenges you have during the course of the game.
You ever watch a football game? You get 3 timeouts. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. Rule of 3. It's just
rule of 3, baby.
2 just feels like I want them to be able to use a challenge early in the game. And when you only have 2, it almost feels like it's dicey whenever you try it in the first 3 innings. But if you had 3, I like that idea. It doesn't slow down the game, and everyone likes the moment when a challenge is instigated. Everyone looks at the scoreboard. Players look at it. It was hilarious last night. Was it Willem Contreras, the catcher, who blocked Freddie Fermin's view with the bat when he challenged it, so he couldn't see?
So he couldn't see.
Put his bat right in his mask. No, you don't get to see the challenge up there. That was hilarious. But everyone likes the moment. So why take it away? Why not add at least one for every team next season? I think I'd be a big fan of that.
Might have been when the Padres were playing the Astros. There was a challenge, and the catcher, I saw, it was the opposing catcher. You could read his lips. He goes, "What do you think?" to whoever was up at the plate. And I'm like, they're having some fun with it too.
Always do. I love that. I love them when they're like, "What'd you think?"
Yeah.
And the guy like nods, and Manny's like, "Oh, okay." Like I think that's such a good bit.
I like it.
It is. It is.
All
if
right,
they went away, I wouldn't care, though, by the way.
All right. We had a limited Monday schedule in Major League Baseball, but since the standings are so important right now, let's get a little early edition of our MLB Reach Around.
They're doing the
Reach Around.
They're doing the
Reach Around.
Everybody's doing the
Reach Around. Padres hoping to get a little help in the wild card race. They did not. You don't really want to be counting on the Colorado Rockies for much right now. They didn't even put up a fight. Nolan Arenado had a first-inning grand slam against his former team, and the Arizona Diamondbacks went on to a 9-0 win in the series opener in Phoenix last night. So they stayed one game ahead of the Padres. Cardinals put up a little more of a fight. They fell behind 6-5 to the Philadelphia Phillies, scored 3 in the 8th, but the comeback came up 1 run short as the Phillies get the 6-5 win. So they also remain a game ahead of the Padres for the final wild card spot in the National League yesterday. I didn't see much of either of those games, but again, you cannot count on a lot of teams for help. I did. Chris Ello had an interesting stat, though, as I was in the car yesterday. He looked at the schedule, and he said the Padres and Phillies will both have, after this current series, Padres and Phillies will both have, no, I think the Phillies have 5 remaining series against playoff teams. The Padres play the Brewers right now, and then they'll have 4 more series against playoff teams the rest of the year. The Diamondbacks have 8 more series against current playoff teams. So they have a little dicier of a road going forward the rest of the year compared to the Padres and Phillies, just a slight maybe schedule advantage for those 2 teams. Tarek Skubal made his second start for the Dodgers, and it was, again, a little meh. 5 innings, 2 earned runs, got a no decision. The Dodgers did pull out a 6-5 win over the Kansas City Royals, though, in that one on a Freddie Freeman go-ahead single. Astros beat the Giants 6-3 in 10 innings. Houston rallying to tie it in the 9th, and then 3 in the 10th to win it as they remain in the lead in the American League West. The Texas Rangers kept pace. They beat the Angels 4-1 in 10 innings. Did you see the catch by, I think it was Wade Meckler, who robbed Corey Seager of a 3-run home run by going way over the wall in Anaheim? Turned out not to matter. The Rangers still ended up winning. They just needed an extra inning to do it. Texas, though, losing Nathan Eovaldi to the injured list with an elbow injury as they try to hold on to that last wild card spot or chase down the Houston Astros in the AL West. Twins beat the Orioles 9-5, 3-run home run from old friend Josh Bell powering the Twins. They're only a game out of a playoff spot. Mets beat the Braves 8-5 with a Brett Beatty grand slam, providing the difference in that one. The Blue Jays over the Red Sox 2-1 in a game that featured one of the most unusual rules decisions that I think we've seen in Major League Baseball, Woods.
Yeah, this took a minute, man. It took 15 minutes actually to get it all dialed in. But I was blown away.
A 15-minute delay. So here's the situation. You got runners at the corners and 1 out with the Boston Red Sox at the plate. But the scoreboard said there was 2 outs. Someone got confused because it looked like Vlad Guerrero had maybe gotten a double play on a liner, but it was a force out. It wasn't a line drive. He picked it off the dirt. So the scoreboard operator had put 2 outs up, but there really was just 1 out. Now, shouldn't really matter, but apparently both the Red Sox runners just looked at the scoreboard to see how many outs there were. And when
so did the Blue Jays.
Well, yeah, some of the Blue Jays did as well.
They ran off.
Yeah, they did. But a fly ball to center field, which some people thought was the end of the inning because both the runners at first and third just ran thinking it was 2 outs.
Right.
The Blue Jays, at least a couple of them knew there wasn't because they threw to first to double off the runner to truly end the inning with the 3rd out. Here's where it got kind of crazy, though. So they go off the field and the umpires then have to look at the play and they say, well, the runner from third scored before the force out at first base on the double up. And because the Blue Jays never went to appeal the runner at third, leaving early, which he obviously did. He never even tried to tag. He just trotted across home plate. But it doesn't matter if you leave
on contact.
It doesn't matter if you leave a millisecond early or you leave 15 seconds early and just don't tag up at all. If you don't go back and appeal, then they're just going to assume that you don't care. So that run actually did end up counting for the Boston Red Sox in that situation, and one of the most unusual plays I think we've seen in baseball in a long time.
I mean, a 2-1 game, too, is, of course.
Yeah,
it happens in one of those.
It was the Red Sox did end up losing. It was their only run, and the Blue Jays still won. So
I was watching the arguments, like when John Schneider came out to argue, and they're like, you assume the umpires were kind of saying, like, hey, man, what are you arguing? Half your team ran off your pitcher ran off the mound thinking it was 2 outs, too. Like, you can't, it was such a bizarre scenario.
I mean, the broadcasters made a lot of sense. They were going, well, obviously that run can't count. He didn't tag up.
Right.
So how could that run possibly count?
Because you never appealed.
But
he essentially stole home almost.
Exactly. I mean, unless it's on you to appeal him leaving early. It's not on the runner. You don't do anything wrong. If you don't appeal, then the umpires have no recourse. So it actually, in the end, did make a lot of sense that the run ended up counting. The inning was over. But the Blue Jays still won 2-1. Jamison Taillon, who had got picked up off the scrap heap from the Cubs, allowed just 1 hit in 4 innings, but then had to leave the game and is going to get an MRI on his forearm. The Rays won their 7th straight. Junior Caminero hit a 3-run homer, his 34th of the year. They beat the A's 10-6. He's very, very good. And that's it for the scores. Matt Chapman's going to have season-ending abdominal surgery. Just really a lost year for the San Francisco Giants. And don't think it might have happened during the show yesterday. Did we mention the Tim Anderson news that he's officially announcing his retirement from Major League Baseball?
No, I thought he already did.
I hadn't heard from him in a while, but he did yesterday make it official. Filed the paperwork, and Tim Anderson is retiring. All right, Woods, are you heading to class?
Yeah, I'm leaving third base early because there's one out right now, and I will be back as soon as I can be.
All right.
For Jesse Agler.
Give Taylor a hug for us for the first day of kindergarten, and we will see you when you come back.
School today too, buddy. Third grade,
and Bo as well. I hope they both have good. Yeah, hope they both have good days. We will talk to you when you get back. When we get back, we will get to Don't Do This, and we will talk about cheating in golf. Is one of the things that I've got set up for Don't Do This. We will also talk about Little League and cheating in Little League as well. Okay. So a lot of cheating going on today in DDT. That is up next with Bennett Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Don't Do This, brought to you by Dixieline Lumber and Home Centers, helping San Diego homeowners and contractors fix it, build it, and enjoy it. Got Jesse Rogers from ESPN coming up at the bottom of the hour. First, though, we will start with one of ESPN's properties that they have been doing tons of coverage on and will be continuing coverage on through the rest of the month, the Little League World Series. Right now, they're in the regional stage, where the last stop before Williamsport, Pennsylvania. In fact, tonight, Sweetwater Valley Little League from Bonita will play Hawaii in the semifinals, 2 wins away from Williamsport.
What time is that?
I think it's at 7 tonight, but it might be 6. I'm not sure. Well, I'll check and see if I can find a time.
Try to catch a little bit of that.
The DDT, though, comes from the Southwest region, where Tulsa Little League was looking like they may be storming to the title when they were ruled out, ineligible. They had used a ineligible player and had to forfeit their game, and that allowed a team from Texas, they thought, to win the tournament from Waco and advance to Williamsport, Pennsylvania. But a judge now has issued an injunction saying, no, you got to play the game now. So they're going back onto the field tonight, where Tulsa will get the opportunity. Now, we don't know specifically what ineligible rule they have violated.
They have to replay the whole game, or
no. They had won their game.
They won the game,
and then they are going to now advance to the final. So they were just going to be stopped from playing their next game. So this is the game they would have played.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
I mean, if they're using an ineligible player, though,
right,
seems like you should be forfeited from the entire tournament. I don't really know what's going on, other than we've seen obviously these controversies in Little League before. Danny Almonte is, way older than he should have been pitching in the Little League World Series. I don't know if it's that, if it's a kid from out of the district, if it's something else, but it's turning into a pretty ugly mess. But the odd thing about
judge rulings,
judge rulings, just like with the NCAA, and you've got injunctions. The Tulsa softball team also was going to the World Series like 3 weeks ago, and they were disqualified for using an ineligible player. So it seems to be somewhat systematic there in Tulsa that they've got potentially some cheaters going on in the Little League World Series.
Interesting.
It's always the parents taking this stuff way too seriously.
I hate that. That's really gross, actually.
Yeah, totally. All right, I will move from Little League to golf.
More cheating?
More cheating, actually. This one actually kind of burns me a little bit to see this going on. A guy, amateur golfer, playing at his St. Louis area club, like in a club tournament. Zach Holland is his name. He has been kicked out of his club. Here's what he did. So they're playing in a tournament. There's a par 3. The 4th hole is a par 3. He and his group, after the 3rd hole, they're putting out on the green. And he says, I got to go use the bathroom or something. I'll just go ahead and tee off on the next hole.
So he ran up ahead.
So he ran up ahead, and instead of doing that, he ran up to the green and put his ball in the hole. And then when he got back, he told the guys, I thinned it. I think I went over the green or something. I didn't see where it ended up. And then they all walk up to the green, and lo and behold, they find his ball in the hole. There's like a hole-in-one pot, a prize for winning a hole-in-one. So he's pulled the wool over everybody's eyes. Well, someone found out about it, and he is facing the music now. Was kicked out of his club, did a radio interview, and he admitted to it. He said, you do something as dumb as I did, there are consequences to that. Really, though, I mean, golf ultimately is the one game where you have to police yourself.
Kind of honor code. Yeah.
It really is too easy to cheat in golf. I mean, that's just beyond stupidly cheating, but like the little cheating.
Even like just kicking the ball.
Yeah, kicking the ball and
improving your
yourself a better lie.
Yeah.
No one's ever going to see it. So if you can't abide by the ethics of golf, and clearly this guy can't, it just doesn't work. It's just a sport that doesn't work without the honor system. I mean, even on the PGA Tour, we saw the whole Bryson situation at the British Open where he got penalized for improving his lie, but that was like a rules thing. Wasn't it? But I mean, even that's like 0.1% of PGA Tour shots are shown that closely on camera, where they would have the evidence to do that. Most of the time, it has to be the player penalizing themselves in a situation like that. So I was just burning when I saw that story.
Yeah, that is weird.
All right, Paul, a little do this.
Do this.
DD mega doo-doo.
Yeah, let's talk about cards. How about that? Woodsy's not here, but I will lead the conversation on this one because I do this for a guy. Well, I don't know where the actual winner is from, but the Cooper Flag debut patch card that a lot of people, basketball fans and card collectors, have been chasing for only like a week now. I think these cards have been out. It's the card that has the NBA logo patch of Cooper Flag's debut game jersey. It's autographed. It'll be a 1-of-1. It's going to go for probably a few $1 million, and it was found yesterday on a stream.
What's a break? Can you explain that to me? I hear you and Woods talking about this from time to time.
Yeah, so people or card shops, like, individuals or card shops or whatever, you'll buy a bunch of cards. You can buy like a whole case or a whole box or whatever. And you basically, let's call it for baseball, there's 30 teams. You auction off or you sell off 30 spots. So you can do it at auction, or each team is a certain amount of money. Dodgers probably going to cost more than the Rockies because of the players that you can get. So then they'll open however many packs or whatever that session is set for. And then you are just watching, like say you bought the Padres. You're going to now watch the stream, and any Padres card that he pulls, you would get. So this guy, I don't know where the winner is from, but the card shop was from Rhode Island. They were doing a break. I think I saw that the guy paid like $500 for a spot, and he got the Dallas Mavericks. And then because he got the Dallas Mavericks, they pulled the Cooper Flag jersey card, and now it belongs to some random guy that bought into this break. Offers were already going while the card was still being searched for. People were putting out like $2 or $3 million offers on it. Don't know what this guy's going to do. He could obviously keep it if he wants. He could sell it at auction. But either way, life-changing money, like in the blink of an eye for this guy.
I would imagine most people are selling it.
Yes.
As much as you like basketball or baseball cards, you get one that's worth 7 figures.
I think you
sell it. You can buy a lot of other cards if you want. You know what? It's
somebody
cool,
out there will pay a lot of money for it. Now, similar, we had a story about this, I think, last year with Paul Skeens had a big debut patch card, and I believe it was like a father-son in Los Angeles, I think found it at a card shop. And so the Pirates, I remember, they had this huge offer for if anybody wanted. But it was kind of like if you live in Pittsburgh and you're a Pirates fan and you find the card, then we have a great deal. The Mavericks did a similar thing. They offered like 32 years of lower, like premium season tickets, a game-worn Cooper Flag rookie jersey, a photo opportunity with him, like a basketball experience for you and up to 20 guests or whatever, like at their arena. So this huge package, because they want the card, they want to give it to Cooper. But I don't know. I think even if I was like a Mavs fan and I lived there and could enjoy 32 years of tickets, I think I'd be like, you guys got money too. You're the Mavs. You can buy your own
tickets if you sell the card.
Right. Like, you're the Mavs. If somebody else is offering money, like, you can afford to offer up some money as well.
Well, in this case, it seems like a lot to pay $500 just to get a few Mavs basketball cards, but it worked out quite well for our Do This recipient, and that is Don't and Do This for a Tuesday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Just 42 games left in the baseball season. When we come back, we will be joined by ESPN Major League Baseball insider Jesse Rogers. Yeah, it is a Jesse Tuesday here with Ben and Woods. We'll talk some more baseball coming up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
so let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
it's going to hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee hurts.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
It is a Jesse Tuesday here on Ben and Woods. Welcome back. Woodsy taking his children to their first day of school. He will be back with us in about an hour, but we're going to talk some baseball right now. Go out to our SDCCU fan hotline. It's not Big Bank Banking. It is better, and we are joined by one of our favorite Jessies. Jesse Rogers from ESPN, MLB Insider is with us. And Jesse, we were actually hoping to see you. We went to Chicago with a bunch of listeners last month and went to the Padres Cubs series. It was so hot we almost melted that weekend. I don't know if you were in Chicago that weekend. And the Padres, if you'll remember, got absolutely obliterated. We were sitting on the rooftops for a 23-3 loss. Well, we didn't make it to the end of that one. We were on the L and back toward our hotel by about the fourth or fifth inning of that one.
Well, I can reveal to you now that I played pickleball with a member of the front office that week in 90-degree heat, outdoors, in the sun. So we were tougher than you guys.
You were?
Oh, yeah.
I won't mention the member of your front office, but you guys won the general manager pickleball executive tournament last GM meeting. So you guys got some good pickleball players in your front office.
I have an idea of who the pickleball players are. And it's not A.J. Preller. He's a basketball player. I know that for sure.
Exactly right. But I'll give you even more insight on the pickleball world when it comes to the Padres. Under Schilt, at some point, not because of Schilt, but just during his years, it became so competitive within the Padres organization, they had to stop playing. That's what I heard.
Wow.
They had courts like on the roof of Peoria, and they took them out. It was like it got too serious. It got too intense. I heard that too.
The idea of Mike Schilt playing pickleball does make me laugh a little bit.
Sorry, Schilty. Don't mean to laugh at you. But you know what was funny about that series is we were in Chicago. The Cubs are doing fine. Obviously, they're beating up on the Padres, but I'm hearing Cubs fans, I'm watching the media in Chicago go, I just don't think they got enough pitching. They shouldn't really buy at the deadline. This is a team that just doesn't have what it takes. And they've played really good baseball. I had, I think, a nice trade deadline. You can give me your impressions of where they are if they did pick up enough pitching, but they're playing fantastic baseball right now and look like they're going to run away with the first wild card at the very least.
Yeah, they are playing great baseball, and they really have been playing good most of the season. They had one slump like every team does. Coincided with some pitching injuries. They also slumped at the plate, so May wasn't great. That's when the Brewers passed them. But outside of that, they've played good baseball all year, and then the deadline additions really fortified because they lost their number one starter early on in Cade Horton. They've lost other guys. It's been a blessing in disguise in some ways, a couple of the injuries, because Matthew Boyd looks stronger than ever. He missed time with a knee injury, not an arm injury. So it's almost like things are coming together at the right time for them. They're also getting these walking wounded back. And so combine that with the deadline additions and the way this team plays defense, sky's the limit. Now they'd like to track down the Brewers and get a bye. Easier said than done, but thanks to your Padres, they might have a shot here this week, especially with Milwaukee and the West Coast, the Cubs playing some under 500 teams. But long way to go. They put themselves in a great position, though.
And, of course, probably none of this possible without the unbelievable play of Pete Crow Armstrong. Really, I thought it was a foregone conclusion. Shohei Ohtani was going to win another MVP award, but with him not pitching lately and how PCA is playing, how do you kind of handicap that race here in the final 7 weeks of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm biased, but I do think PCA is the favorite for a reason right now. It turned last week when they played each other, in fact. And it's simply because the other guy is DHing right now. And it'd be one thing if PCA was playing good left field. He's playing the best center field in baseball, arguably the best defender in any position in baseball. That's what it takes to overcome Ohtani. I've said this several times. If PCA was a first, third, second, left, or right fielder, he'd have no chance, to be honest. It would have taken shortstop or center field and playing at such an elite way to sort of offset Ohtani's first half on the mound. So I've talked to a few players here and there over the last week, just in particular, and most of them are saying PCA as well. And I do think we're a prisoner of recency bias too as voters. If we go another 6 weeks with PCA doing what he's doing and Ohtani only DHing, that's going to be a lasting memory for a lot of voters as well. And last thought, even if Ohtani comes back just to prep for the playoffs, I'm not sure that would be enough, a couple starts in September to put him over the top. Having said that, PCA has to keep doing what he's doing, which isn't easy. And, Ohtani probably will keep doing what he's doing at the plate.
Well, despite the heat, our trip to Chicago was pretty amazing. John's Beef, the Billy Goat, Lou Malnati's, and Wrigley Field is an absolute
all the hot spots.
Cathedral. I mean, we're tourists from San Diego. We got to do it all. If there was one disappointment, though, didn't really get to the South Side, I would have liked to have seen the White Sox, who are another fantastic story. And Will Venable, old friend from here in San Diego, has that team knocking on the door of the playoffs. I know he can't remember how many mound visits he gets in an inning, but other than that, having a really good season there. And it looks like you think they're going to be able to hold on and get to the postseason. That would be quite the story.
I do. I think it's their division to lose at this point. They've proven more than enough, to me at least. And, that division's so down. People keep asking me which team I think would battle them the most down the stretch here because they're all bunched. A lot of people think Detroit, the way they're playing. I just think that Scuba and Mize, those losses will catch up with them eventually. I still think Cleveland has probably got the pedigree. They're usually in it every year. But having said that, I think the Sox are the best team. They have slug, especially from the left side. Just enough starting pitching. You got to squint. It's wavering a little bit. They probably should have added one more at the deadline. If Luis Castillo can find the fountain of youth, that would really go a long way towards them holding on. But it's going to be close. It's going to be tight. No one's running away with that thing. But yeah, they've proven enough after 4+ months that I do think they make the postseason, which is amazing after the last several years they've had.
Talking to ESPN MLB insider Jesse Rogers joining us. And Jesse, I want you to share your thoughts on our baseball team. Some ups and downs for the Padres, to be sure. Didn't even know if they were going to be buyers at the deadline, and then they went on a nice little run, and AJ did what he usually does and added starting pitching, and now it feels like a pretty complete team, and one that, potentially with the bullpen they've got, could be a dangerous contender in October if they can get there. They keep winning, but they can't get past either the Phillies or the Diamondbacks, who are also playing good baseball, which leaves them like every game feels like a must-win right now for the San Diego Padres.
Yeah, to me, it's a toss-up there in the wild card at after the Cubs basically right now. It could go either way. They have righted the ship. I've never been a believer this year, but obviously adding the pitchers helps a lot as long as they perform better than they did the first time around. Mize was better yesterday, obviously. I do like how they've performed offensively lately. The bottom of the order has always been something that, he tried to fix last year. And he kind of did in the second half. And this year, the bottom half's been okay once you started to turn things around. Seeing Jackson Merrill go off certainly helps the way he has. But you're right about the bullpen. I think that, my guess is AJ every year around the deadline is thinking two things. Okay, I can reset by trading these bullpen arms. That I'd get a lot for them, right? Mason Miller, Adrian Morehan. But if I go for it, I'm always going to have a chance if we get in. And you nearly did get to the second round. I mean, it was a toss-up. It's game 3. It's best of 3. You don't want to play best of 3, but with the Dodgers in the division, you're going to be playing best of 3. And so you almost won that series in Chicago. I mean, every year it'll be the same thing. As long as that bullpen's great, you will have a shot. Maybe Musgrove gives you a boost, the 2 deadline pitchers, and then you just got to get enough offense, which lately you've been getting. But I would say it's a coin toss the rest of the way, to be honest. I don't love the Padres in the wild card race, but I certainly don't hate them either, especially the way they're playing right now.
Of course, any team that gets into the National League is going to have to deal with the Los Angeles Dodgers. I know that they have looked not so great in the last week since the trade deadline. I'm not putting much stock in a bad week right now for the LA Dodgers. I still think they're the overwhelming favorites. And to me, we've been talking about it all season, Jesse. The labor negotiations coming up. The Dodgers are in a class of themselves when it comes to payroll and revenue. And I can contend that baseball doesn't have a parity problem. 29 teams compete pretty well against each other. They just have a Dodgers problem right now. And I don't know how they fix that. And I don't know if a CBA fixes that either. What's your thoughts just on all of this and what the Dodgers have been doing, and whether it's good for baseball, bad for baseball, and how long it's going to continue for LA?
Well, yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't continue. It's a great front office combined with the money that you're talking about, right? It's those two things combined. Some teams have one, some teams have the other. They have both. And I mean, Andrew Friedman's as good as it gets in the business, and the revenue is flowing in, so they can use it however they want. Certainly to cover mistakes. That's probably the biggest thing. They can cover mistakes. Kyle Tucker's not having the best year. Well, they'll go out and trade for Skubal and win it a different way, although they didn't look great last night. So my thought is, I mean, at the end of the day, there's some parity, and you can argue all those things, but I kind of understand what Rob Manfred said to us reporters at the All-Star game. I think he said something like, it defies the human experience that we would be accepting of a team with a $400 million payroll and one with an $80 million payroll. I think we have to at least accept there's a problem with that, which I don't think the union does. And I'm not sure everyone does, to be honest. You can say there's different ways to skin a cat, right? Some spend a lot, some don't. But I sort of agree that seems like a problem, 400 million versus 80 million, just using some extreme numbers, So it does feel like that could use some fixing. Whether it's a salary cap or not, we can argue. But I think the union at least has to acknowledge that's a problem. I guess they kind of do, but they just say, hey, Marlins, hey, Pirates, spend more money. So I think once we can all agree that seems to be a problem, then we can maybe talk about what the answer to that problem is. And yeah, maybe the Dodgers are out by themselves, but this disparity is going to continue to grow with the New York teams and the such. Now, if every major league team is owned by a billionaire that is, $400 billion in the bank, that's a different story, but they're not all, and they're not all in the same market. So I do feel like it needs some adjusting. I mean, that's just common sense.
Yeah, I think you touched on it. I went on a rant last week. I don't rant often, but to me, the Kyle Tucker signing is the problem, because if any other team does that and signs a guy for $60 million and he has a terrible season, it's crippling. It's crippling to other teams when you make a mistake like that. And the Dodgers just shrug it off and just move on with an unbelievable talented roster and payroll. They're immune to mistakes. It's not they don't make them. Every team makes mistakes. They're kind of immune to their mistakes. It's they've really gamed the system where they don't have consequences to their actions anymore.
Yeah, it's pretty true. That's pretty true. And we can admire it, but and at the same time say, maybe that should be different, And again, you don't have to be in favor of a salary cap, just something different, something different than this. I mean, it's been coming for a long time. I mean, they tried the luxury tax to kind of ramp down the top. That really hasn't worked. It certainly hasn't worked lately. I just feel like there's a sort of a new billionaire class. Like, I don't know. Go back to George Steinbrenner years. He was the one guy, and even he had some restraints. Now there's just no restraints on some of these billionaires, I guess. I don't know. I'm not smart enough to know. All I know is what I see in the payroll, and the disparity is much different than even the Yankee Steinbrenner years.
Great stuff, Jesse. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time, as always.
You got it, guys. Good luck. Talk to you soon.
Jesse Rogers from ESPN, one of our absolute favorite guests on our SDCCU fan hotline. It's not big bank banking. It's better. This hour on Bennett Woods brought to you by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. And I saw, Paulie, this question online yesterday. Forget who was discussing. It might have been the foul territory guys. Is it bad for baseball if the Detroit Tigers make the playoffs after trading away Tarek Skubal and Casey Mize? And I say that because if that happens, and it very well could, they're, I think, within a game of a playoff spot. They've actually been playing decent. Why shouldn't they go for it? I mean, it doesn't matter who's on the team. If you're playing well, you make it. You're going to have other teams that go at the trade deadline. Well, look, hey, fans, we're not going for it, but look at what the Tigers did.
Angels a couple years ago.
Why should we go for it when we can still make the playoffs, even if we don't acquire help at the deadline? And you're going to have teams that are even less interested in competing than they already are with this built-in excuse like, hey, we can trade away 2 stars and still make the playoffs in a wild card system. I don't necessarily think it's bad for baseball. If I'm a Detroit Tigers fan, I mean, that's the best of both worlds. You get you get cash in on your best trade chips, and you still potentially get October baseball at the end.
I'm not mad that the Tigers traded Tarek Skubal. I'm not even mad that they traded him to the Dodgers. We all knew that was going to happen. I was kind of mad that they didn't it didn't seem like they even attempted to really have much of a bidding war, making that decision to trade him on Saturday afternoon instead of even Monday morning, the day of the deadline. Add a little bit of urgency, up that offer. Like that would anger me if I was a Tigers fan, for sure. I feel like you probably could have gotten more.
I mean, if you're a Tigers fan and they make the playoffs, and then you go, man, if we still had Tarek Skubal and we could actually win the World Series, or at least get to the World Series. Now we don't. You don't love your chances, but you certainly can get there.
Well, I don't know that they trade him if they were having a much better season and rolling in the American League. Then maybe they don't trade him.
Well, how would you feel as a Padres fan if the Padres had traded Mason Miller? And
it's different though. 4 years of control. I mean,
yeah, but I mean
if you had a rental like Skubal,
it wouldn't have prevented them from potentially going on a playoff run this year. You could trade.
I think
Mason
Morahone
Miller.
was probably like a comparison.
Sure.
Because he's the rental. I mean, look, the Padres were probably a couple more losses away from trading Morahone. I mean, they were right there.
But we would have, if that had happened and they had traded Morahone and, hadn't added Robbie Ray or Casey Mize, we would have all punted on the season, right? It's over.
Yeah,
they're
probably
done.
I mean,
this is what the Tigers did. They have punted on their season. They have announced we are not interested in winning this year yet. Here they are, still winning and still very much knocking on the door of a playoff spot. It just sends a mixed message here as to what the priorities are in baseball. I guess it's always a reminder to fans, though, that, there's always hope no matter what roster your team's throwing out there, especially on a short sample size.
I think you get to the deadline, and if the Tigers are the best team in the American League, then they probably don't trade Skubal, and they say we're going to weigh our chances of winning a title this year against building up our prospect capital.
It certainly cheapens the playoffs a little bit if you get a team that isn't even trying to make the playoffs to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I guess that in that sense, that is bad for baseball. It makes the playoffs feel like, wow, this is you got a team that doesn't even want to be here that's making the playoffs this season. So we got 2 hours to go. Woodsy should be back in our 8 o'clock hour. Jesse Agler will join us on a Jesse Tuesday as well, all coming up on 97.3 The Fan. halfway home on a Tuesday. Ben and Woods back with you, going until 10 o'clock this morning. It appears first day school drop-off was successful. Woodsy let us know that he is on his way back. Should be joining us here in just a few minutes. But until then, I am Ben Higgins. I am joined by Paulie Reindl, and I want to talk a little more Padres baseball until Woods gets back.
Let's do it.
And I want to talk and start in particular. I know Jackson Merrill is getting tons of love, as he should right now. Guys, locked in.
Like the best player in baseball since the All-Star break or something like that.
I think he and PCA have the two highest OPSs since the All-Star break.
Toddy's like right behind them.
Yeah, he's close. PCA, who we just heard from Jesse Rogers, basically his guy for MVP now, and Jackson Merrill are the two best players in the second half of the season, both young center fielders in the National League playing really, really well. And I wonder, obviously Jackson got off to a slower start this year. We started maybe having some questions about, all right, is he really going to be the superstar player who justified the major contract extension that he got? Or is this going to be more like Jake Cronenworth got a big deal and has been solid, I'm glad that the Padres have him. He's a good contributor, but he's not a star player in Major League Baseball.
Declined every year of his contract. You're hoping Jackson does not do that.
Well, at that age, Jake's a little older as well. But, after that first half of the season, I was a little worried. And then, he started turning it on. So hopefully he's okay. But the one guy I wanted to just focus on, because we didn't talk about him that much earlier, is Ty France, who continues to just out of nowhere. Let's be honest. Yes, the Padres give AJ Preller credit for signing Ty France to a minor league deal before the season.
You would have paid a lot more if you were expecting this.
Let's be honest. When we saw the transaction note, Ty France coming back home to maybe play for the Padres, at least get a spring training invitation, we all thought, oh, it's funny. Ty France is coming back. I doubt he actually makes this team. They just signed Nick Castellanos. They had other options, right-handed options. It didn't look like there was even a roster spot. Ramon Laureano, Miguel Andujar, guys who were getting paid a lot more than Ty France was going to get paid. I didn't even see that there was a realistic opportunity for him to make the team. But, of course, he did. Did not play a ton early in the season, but after injuries and Castellanos was released, Laureano gets hurt, and Duhar, eventually gets hurt. Ty France has become an everyday player, and not just an everyday player, one that the Padres would not be here in playoff contention without Ty France. He has a .291 batting average, an .872 OPS, and 329 plate appearances. The only two first basemen in the league who can match that, over .290 average and .850 OPS, Ty France and Freddie Freeman are the only two in baseball. The home run he hit last night was the lowest home run by a Padre all season, meaning like getting off the ground, like no more than 45 feet.
Jeez.
It was such a line drive to left field. His 17th of the year, and he's played really solid defense.
You knew the glove was going to be
at first base.
Yeah. Confident.
Ty France has been such a godsend for the San Diego Padres this year. We don't probably give him enough credit where credit is due. And, that just sometimes things fall into your lap. And again, what do you think it looks like?
What does the future look like for Ty France? Going to parlay this into a nice little contract. I would hope so.
I would think so. I would also think that Ty France would be very interested in remaining in San Diego.
I would think so as well.
Considering his ties to the community. Now, can the Padres come to a mutually agreeable contract situation and offer for Ty France to keep him here? I don't even know how much what
do you expect next year from Ty France? Is this a freak year, or is this who Ty France is?
Well, Ty France has been this before. This isn't out of the blue and out of nowhere. He also has not had the consistent opportunities in playing time the last couple of seasons, bouncing between teams, getting traded at the deadline multiple times. He hasn't actually been in a position where he can just be written into a position. Hey, you're going to be our first baseman. You're going to be batting fourth, and you're going to be getting 400 to 500 at bats. So, given that opportunity, don't see why he doesn't have another 2 or 3 more good seasons. What am I willing to pay for it? Probably less than Ty would want, but we'll see what AJ Preller decides to come up with. But I just wanted to to mention Ty France.
Yeah, he had two before this. He had two really pretty good seasons.
Yeah,
21 and 22 with Seattle, and then
you thought maybe that was
around.
it, and kind of but it's still in there. Not everyone's going to have a good season every single year, and there's probably extenuating circumstances beyond the team changes and trades. Who knows what injuries and everything he was dealing with, but we will see if there's a future for Ty France here in San Diego.
Pay him for his glove alone. Yeah. I mean, look, just to be comfortable and have confidence every day in your first baseman is not something that we've had a ton of here in San Diego over the last however many years. So, yeah, you're not going to get any argument from me on that one.
Do we have Woodsy back? I believe he has returned to us back in his home office. How was school drop-off, Woods?
Hello. Hey, I got you guys. How are you?
Good.
How'd it go?
Just talking about Ty France.
I'm not surprised. Let's see. How did it go? Hang on. I want to put some lights on in here. It looks very dingy and dark in here.
There you go.
All right. Much better. Much better. Oh, man, it was awesome and sweet. Taylor did so good. He was so brave. Bo saw all of his friends. They're all in his class. So he was like, see you later, dude, and split. And then I went up to his room and looked in the window and like waved to him. And he was like, Dad.
Get away. Embarrassing me.
It was great. But Taylor was very brave. And they do it right, man, where
can I show the picture?
You can show the picture. They do it right where you have to leave them. Right? They don't let you linger and don't let you lurk. You got to let that kid walk across the playground and put his stuff away. And they don't want you, because you know how it gets. And you're like, oh, I'm just going to stay for a bit. I'll just sit through the first hour.
You think you're helping, but you might actually be hurting by lingering, because then it's like it's almost just like, hey, rip the Band-Aid off. You got to walk away, and they're gonna be fine.
Yeah, and then, I had to drag Hannah away because she wanted to lurk at the fence. I was like, let's go. He's going to be fine. He's he's like a foot taller than all these kids. He's going to be great. So it was awesome, man. And then you see all your friends and the other parents that you haven't seen in so long and throughout the summer, and you just see that look of relief in many people's eye of like, holy cow, we're back in the routine, I think, which all parents love and need. So I know for me, I didn't get emotional until I got in the car. And then I did. So I'm good now, though.
Tears started flowing.
Yeah, I got a little misty-eyed, pulling away. I was looking at the picture that we took, and we took a picture of us and the family, and so it was good. It was good. It was really sweet.
Since you are working from the home office today, you were not here when our boss Adam Klug dropped in just a couple of minutes ago, arriving early for his Tuesday shift. He wasn't here yesterday, of course, on Monday. And the first thing he said was, I get you a 3-year.
He was here at 8:00.
I get you a 3-year contract extension, and this is how you thank me. He saw the Barrett Sports article about how this could be our swan song, our finale, last contract ever at 97.3 The Fan. Don't think he was a big fan of that quote, Woods.
I mean, did he read the whole thing, or did he just take it out of context?
I think he took it out of context, like everybody does.
Or did he just take a perverted picture, or which one did he do? Because that's what I want to know. What happened? What was with him? What happened last night? What, like,
you mean?
You guys all saw
world's
Twitter.
Most relaxed Jackson Merrill fan? Is that what we're talking about?
What in the?
You sent this over to us, and I don't do this often, but I like jump scare, the whoa, like,
yeah.
You sent that over, and it kind of freaked me out. I'll pull up the picture here on our stream. So our boss posted this selfie on social media last night.
Very sexy.
He's got bedroom eyes. Doesn't he? Look at those. Look, I mean, look at that look that he's giving us.
What did he post with that? Just that?
Yeah.
No,
he's in a Merrill Madness t-shirt. It was after the home run. I think he was showing his support for Jackson.
Oh, no, Paulie, it does say, I showed you my penis, please respond. That's what it says on the tweet. I'm sorry. I had missed that entirely. But yeah, it's a total like, hey, you up? Like, what's up? What are you doing? What are you up to? WYD, what you doing? And I just go, man, number one, I didn't realize Adam was so sexy. But those smoldering eyes, you see how he landed Mrs. Klug and has 3 kids. probably with more on the way with looks like that. But I thought that was an interesting.
Got the stubble going. I mean, it was
God, man. It's an interesting content selection.
It was. Well, just to put it out there on social media, it wasn't a private picture. It was an actual public post to everybody.
Yes.
Your new co-host.
So, Paulie's got him up in the chat. So I just put some roses on there, because usually the people that send pictures like that, that's what they put on there, is they put roses, like little rose emojis on there. It really ruined my night, if I'm being honest with you guys. I saw it and I went, oh, what is he doing? Not that he's not a handsome guy. He is. It was just he wanted to let everybody know Jackson Merrill just hit a homer. I've got a Jackson Merrill t-shirt on, and I'm going to show you this picture if you like it or not. But he's a personality now. That's the thing.
He also did some supportive tweets for Steven Souza Jr. yesterday.
Yeah. He's gone beyond silent boss man behind the scenes.
He says props to Steven Souza for helping the offense figure things out. He took a lot of heat. He deserves a lot of praise.
Okay, so he's.
Do you disagree?
I mean, I've never given him any heat or praise, so I don't disagree. I don't agree. I've never said it was his fault, and I don't think it's his doing that they're hitting well. I think that $30 million players, and $25 million players, and $10 million players, and $12 million players know how to hit, which is why they got to the big leagues. The batting coach isn't in the box with them. I never blamed him for the struggles, and I'm not over here going to, call a parade in his honor either. I think these guys are good hitters that have worked through a lot of things. So, no, I just, I think Adam's now a personality.
But he's not. He's the brand manager.
But he's a personality now, though. I think we've made him into a personality. It's on me. I'll wear it.
I was going to say we or you?
Me. Yeah, it's my fault. I'll wear it.
Well, he's got a great headshot ready to go for his new show.
Yeah, if he needs one, there it is. It's very smoldering. I keep going back to it, and it's a very smoldering, like very sexy, like I don't know.
He looks somewhat stoned as well.
He does look a little high. He really
ganja, aka cannabis.
Maybe some gummies.
Why don't you have him on? Just bring him in. Is he in the station?
He's in the building. Yeah, we can have him drop in. Maybe let's take a timeout, and then we can have him come in before Take on Woods and see what his explanation is for that. Was that like already in the files of photos in case he needed it, or was that
that was a freshie? That was
a fresh shot that he took last night.
That was 100%. The mood has just struck me, and I'm going to see if she's awake. That's what it is.
All right. We will see if we can track down Adam, bring him into the studio. And if you want to play Take on Woods, you can be our contestant coming up next. 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. Chance to win the tickets to see Zach Top at Pechanga Arena. Instant win. Didn't have a winner yesterday. Zach Top. The Pechanga Arena. The wild card category is gone, but we still have music, movies, and television left for you to take on Woods. Coming up next. What?
Hold on. What? He says, I'm not coming on. Why? Why are you? I don't understand. Just come on.
We got a whole platform here for all your commentary.
If you're comfortable enough on social media, you have to be comfortable enough saying it on the air.
I'm willing to have an in-depth discussion about Steven Souza Jr. with you, Adam, if you will come on with us.
Oh, we know he will.
That's coming up next with Ben and Woods. Don't go away. We got Woodsy back on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, let me tell you about SDFatLoss.com. If you're looking to lose weight and you have some hesitancy about the GLP-1s, then you're not alone. I had the same issues. I had heard about the potential side effects, how you can lose muscle instead of fat, and how you're really stuck taking the injections weekly, pretty much ongoing. And it can be expensive, $3,000 to $5,000 a year, depending on what kind of insurance and programs you got. Whereas SDFatLoss.com is a 2-month program, one-time cost, and they're not asking you to buy anything extra. No shakes, no bars, no meals. You're making your own food from the grocery store. You're eating at the right times and the right portions, and you're losing weight fast, up to a pound of fat per day and 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 60 days. How did that work out for me? I lost 40 pounds in 60 days, and now I've kept the weight off 3 years because they want something sustainable where you're going to be able to maintain the weight loss. It's really no fun to lose weight and then gain it right back again. You want to be able to keep it off, and SDFatLoss.com wants you to be able to keep the weight off. If you want to find out how the program works, how you can do it without any exercise, set up a free consultation at SDFatLoss.com. Absolutely free consultation. You can decide whether the program's right for you. And if you decide it is, take $200 off all summer long for 97.3 The Fan listeners as well. Lose the weight, feel great, and keep the weight off with SDFatLoss.com. That's SDFatLoss.com. Results may vary.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open. Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this.
Sour 97 through the Fan is brought to you by GL Pools, the swimming pool experts trusted by thousands of San Diegans for 20 years. Baseball season is in full swing, so is swim season. Make sure your pool is ready. Call Now Mention Radio for 20% off new service plans in 2026. Before we get to take on Woods, you have a contestant on the line. We are graciously joined by our fearless leader, Adam Klug, who is here this morning to explain what the heck were you thinking when you posted that picture last night?
AKA Lil Sexy is what we're going to call him from now on.
Just showing support. That's it. It's happy. He's excited.
There's no happiness or excitement in your face.
No,
though.
It's that picture says
it's kind of like the driver's license picture, right? Like, do you smile when you take a driver's license?
Yes.
Like,
you can.
I mean, I don't take a driver's license picture right after Jackson Merrill hits a go-ahead home run, though. You took that
picture
instantly?
That picture says, I want to make love to you. That's what that picture says. When I see it, it
that was
says,
supposed to be a DM to my wife. Got it.
I want to make love to you, and I want to make love to you right now. That's what it looked like. Look how I get it. I totally get it. Why Mrs. Klug probably
Thank
throws
you for the
herself
kind words,
at you.
Woodsy.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You
here to be a
expect
good
this from
wingman.
Woods, Adam, I know, but I have to admit, when I saw the picture, it was jarring last night.
It really was
jarring to me. That was not what I was
just
expecting
spun out because
from
Mud
you.
was dancing behind you in your stand-up.
No,
man.
that picture was the face that you were doing was just so smoldering.
Didn't mean
so
for
hot.
a smoldering face.
It was so hot. My wife's on Twitter, dude. Can you take it easy? Jesus, she already loves you. You know that.
Does she?
Yeah, she loves you. Well, she used to until about 2 weeks ago, but she did before. She could probably do it again, for sure.
What happened 2 weeks ago? What am I not aware of?
No, just the family vacation.
You made
that
him work.
ruined. It's no big deal.
throughout his
Yeah.
family
yeah.
vacation.
When
Yes.
I made him work, I
Yes.
forgot
Yeah.
about that.
I still haven't put in my time off yet. I will get to that today or tomorrow. So at some point. So anyway, that's all I needed. I just wanted to say that was a
You want
very
to
hot.
express any more praise for Steven Sousa before you go?
Yeah.
No.
Would you like to?
He's done a nice job. I'm not saying he deserves all the credit. Just there were a lot of people out to get him, and they're really silent right now.
I will
that's all.
add, while I was in the clubhouse yesterday, I was talking to Gavin Sheets. Kevin Acey was there from the Union Tribune. He was actually doing a story, I think, on Steven Sousa, who then walked by as he was questioning Gavin Sheets about Steven Sousa. And you know how ball players are. Gavin Sheets immediately smiles and goes, yeah, I think July was actually the worst month he had as a coach. He was terrible this last July. He was better earlier in the season.
That's so good.
Look at the coaches' splits.
You looking at Gavin Sheets' own numbers, having a terrible
Exactly.
July. I think that's genius. Oh, I love it. Baseball players are the best. I think it's just good. It's good practice. I don't know if this is a fair statement or not, but I thought to myself, based on how this team looks now and based on how they did, I thought maybe we just all shut up until the All-Star break. Every year should be our MO. Just shut up. Just shut your mouth. You don't know. You think you do. You just shut your pie hole, man. I don't know how we're going to get through 4 hours a day every day, but we'll figure it out. Even if there is a season next year, you don't know anything. Really, until you get to that point.
Does Adam know that when we first started the show, that was kind of what you wanted sports radio to be? It's like,
Correct.
let's wait until
Wait
after.
and see.
Let's wait until after the football season is over.
Approach.
After the Super Bowl is over, then we can talk about the football season that just happened because we'll know everything. And I go, Woods, it's not how it works. We got to talk about what's about to happen, not what already happened in the distant past.
Your old station would have never stood for that, though. Remember that you told me that they're like, you got to be talking football every single day.
Yeah, we did. And no, but it even, even with baseball, it's just like so much can change in a matter of a matter of 10 days. I mean, it's just the craziest sport. You think we would have learned our lesson. I mean, I got so many bookmarks of Padres fans just wanting to get rid of Tatis and Merrill and you name it, and I'm a blame the players, credit the players, guys. I give those guys all the credit for pulling themselves out of whatever they were in earlier in the season, and they've put in the work. It's very clear to see that these guys play hard. It's very clear to see these guys play for each other, and they're having a good time doing it. So certainly it's entertaining baseball for the fans, that's for sure.
It's also fair to say that, hey, try to do that a little bit earlier because you've put yourself in now this dicey situation that even though you're playing really good baseball, and no one's denying that you're scrambling every day, unable to, catch the Diamondbacks or the Phillies because you don't totally control everything about your playoff destiny, which is, a testament to earlier in the season. So that was important back then. We can't just go every year. No, we'll figure it out. We'll be fine. You got to, it's 162. They all count.
Well, I mean, I think that's on the guys that make the millions of dollars to figure out, not
the
overweight
coach.
radio hosts,
for sure.
and even the coach. That's kind of where I stand on that. I always will. It's just such a hard sport.
I don't want to shortchange Jesse Agler, so I apologize for our contestant. We're going to push Take on Woods back to our
bummer for
9 o'clock hour. I got the names on there though, so if you want to call back when we do it in the 9 o'clock hour, I'll look for your names to get you in. But we do have Jesse Agler for an Incorporator Tuesday coming up next. Want to make sure we get a full conversation with Jesse. That is next, broadcasting live from our Bill House studios. We know how. Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
He did. Here, I'll show you a little.
Please don't.
What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee
It's going to in a second.
right here.
That is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
When charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Have to say, the last couple of days have given us two of the better calls. Jesse Agler, I was making the point as he joins us on our SDCCU fan hotline. It's not Big Bank Banking. Jesse, I was making the point that baseball always has some great spectacular moments, walk-offs, but one of my favorite things is when a star player hits a home run that takes the team from trailing to into the lead, because it's actually probably more rare than people think when that combination of things happen. And you had it the last 2 days with Fernando Tatis Jr. and Jackson Merrill both doing it.
Yeah, it's about as fun as it gets. You know, I mean, it really is. It's those were two of my favorite games of the year, and obviously, I guess that's those two home runs were a big reason why. And this team is playing very fun baseball right now. And I mean, in terms of the calls, like, you know, every major league broadcaster will tell you, you know, the better they play, the better we broadcast. You know, that's kind of like the joke is, you know, people think we're better at our jobs the better the team plays. And that's kind of like the running line we all have, because obviously, you know, the more winning there is, the more fun action there is, the more excited we get to be, and the more fun the whole thing is. But I mean, just two incredibly fun games the last couple of nights. And kind of feels like all of a sudden, this team is starting to hit its stride, and what a good time of year to be doing so.
Yeah, absolutely, Jesse. We've talked and texted and had you on a bunch, and we've talked about the struggles and you, of course, like the doubt creeps in. I was driving back. I was dropping my kids off for their first day, and I was listening to Ben and Paul, and they were talking about Jackson Merrill. And, of course, man, like after last year's injury-plagued season and, the start he got off to, I think a normal human being, probably including Jackson Merrill, was like, this has been a bit of a scuffle. To see him come out, homer 3 straight games, that's a pretty decent formula for success. Just hit a home run every day and let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, no, that's usually what you want to try and do. Is if you hit a home run every single game, you're going to be feeling pretty good, right? Yeah, no, that's generally the way you want to draw it up. Look, I mean, it's funny because probably the thing I say more often than anything else on this show, and I know it becomes obnoxious and like overdone, is, how long this season is. But like, this is such a good example of it. It's such a good example of it, because of injuries, because of mechanical issues at the plate, because of whatever other struggles a guy might have, mental, physical, whatever combination thereof. It just is one of those things where a guy might look absolutely lost, absolutely terrible one month, and he might look like the MVP of the National League the next. And that's what happens over the course of the long season. Very, very, very rarely do you have a year as a player in which, you look like a stud from the start to the finish. It's just, it's a near impossible thing to do. It does happen. Don't get me wrong. But for most guys, it's just not a reality. And there are going to be times when the game absolutely humbles you for long, long stretches. But that does not mean that you're not going to be able to have a tremendous stretch at some point. And, sort of the magic of a good season is, trying to sync up enough good guys going good at the same time, at the right time, that you're able to have some team success. And that's sort of like, the alchemy of Major League Baseball. And like the thing that drives us all crazy is because there's no real way to like make that happen. It's almost sort of, it feels like out of your control to some extent. But right now the Padres have enough guys going at the same time that, they're playing, I think, some of their best baseball of the year. Obviously you add in the starting pitchers at the trade deadline. And like I said, all of a sudden it kind of feels like as a team, they're hitting their stride at the right time.
So Jackson Merrill has gotten hot while hitting 5th in the order. Now, analytics would tell you when you have a guy this hot, probably should move him back up to like 2nd. You want a lefty right there. After Tatis and before Manny Machado, you could put him back in the 2nd spot in the lineup. But Craig Stammen's kind of resisted that. In fact, Jackson even said yesterday, I like hitting 5th because either I'm driving in runs or I could lead off the 2nd inning and have that opportunity. We've seen Craig Stammen move guys around in the order a lot, but he doesn't seem to want to move Jackson now. And Woods, I want to get your opinion on this, but we'll get Jesse's first. What do you think about just leaving Jackson right there at 5th rather than move him back up toward the top of the order when he's so hot?
Yeah, I'm like generally a believer of leave well enough alone. If somebody is kind of like where they're at and having the kind of success that he is, I don't see any reason to mess with it. Also, I don't know that the analytics would necessarily tell you to do what you said. I think the analytics are actually, fairly ambivalent about batting orders in general, which is interesting to me because it's very sort of, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't, necessarily, jibe with like what common sense would indicate. But I think, in a lot of ways, the analytics, don't really care much for where guys hit over the long haul. Now, in a shorter sample size, maybe there's something there. But, for me, I'm very much like human feel, human touch. You mentioned what Jackson said yesterday. I weigh that very heavily. But also, like, if a guy is going good, don't mess with it. It's like Fernando in the leadoff spot. Like, he's going good, don't mess with it. Jackson's going good, don't mess with it. And on and on and on. Now, for some guys, maybe they don't care. Maybe there's like a guy who like legitimately, truly does not care where he hits. And the numbers back up that whether he's hitting 2nd or 5th or 3rd, it's like exactly the same all the time. If you have a guy like that, then sure, maybe you can move him around a little bit. But I think right now, when you have a guy going as good as Jackson is, and the team is playing as well as they are, I don't see any reason to mess around at all.
Yeah, I agree with Jesse, and I also think you need a bigger sample size, in my opinion, for all these guys. And I think back to Schulte leaving Arise in the 2 most of the year last year, and the sample size kind of came in. You had 3-4 months worth of data that pointed to the fact that it's not getting the job done here, and he stayed stubborn because, well, again, I mean, the back of the baseball card says he will turn it around. And I can understand that logic as well. But with a guy like Jackson Merrill, who's still a young player, man, if he's comfortable, it's half the battle. And, he talked yesterday about, his entire approach changing. Jesse, do you remember it seems like every single year we go into spring training and there's at least 3 or 4 Padres and probably 3 or 4 Giants and Reds and Braves that say, this year, I think I want to walk more, right? It happens every single year, and seemingly every year those guys get off to really slow starts. Luis Ariz was one of them. No, I got to take my walks. I think he walked twice in the first 3 months, and, it changes everything. Like, they need to just come in and go, I'm just going to do what I know how to do and hit a baseball really hard.
It's, you're right. And there's such an interesting, line you have to walk, right? Between, I am who I am. I got here because of who I am, but also I know there might be more in there. And I get that. Who doesn't want to be better, right? Who doesn't want to know that there's more in the tank or more that you could put up? But also you got here doing it a certain way. And it's really, really, really hard to sort of get away from that. And I think we could all apply that to our own lives and our own occupations or our own personalities, whatever. We got to, if you're successful in any way as any kind of thing, right? And you're well, this is how I did it. How are you going to change that? Why would you want to make too big of a change in anything that you do? But also you're well, I could always be better. And so that is a needle that you have to thread. And so I fully understand the human inclination to want to be better and to want to do more and to try and do it a little bit differently. But you can stray far from that and you can hurt yourself, I think, when you stop doing that. And so, it's definitely a fine line to try and walk. And look, baseball and hitting in particular, it is so fickle. And so, you can put yourself in a position where, all right, let me just try and make this one little change with my approach or with my mindset, whatever it might be. And all of a sudden, mechanically, something gets a little bit off. That leads to something else, which leads to something else. Next thing you know, it's 2 months into the season and, you're completely out of whack. And that can take another couple of months to unwind. And that's just sort of the cruelty and the difficulty of this sport.
Voice of the Padres, Jesse Agler, is with us. And let's talk about the Milwaukee Brewers. I've always been a bit of a Brewers skeptic, and I feel kind of silly. I guess I just assume that a team with a lower payroll that does not hit home runs, they're dead last in the league, it just is not sustainable. They can't keep doing it, but they are doing it. And even though the Padres won that game yesterday, Jesse, you watch the Milwaukee Brewers, and I finally see it. They are a good team. It's not smoke and mirrors. I don't know if it'll happen, in the playoffs for them. They are a good team, though. What do you see with the Milwaukee Brewers and how they've been able to do this without spending on superstars like other teams?
I mean, the spending thing to me is such an offensive way to look at it. Look at the Mets. The Mets spend like crazy. They're a dumpster fire. They are. And by the way, I grew up a Met fan. There were plenty of Met teams 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago that spent a lot of money and were also dumpster fires. So I'm kind of skewed from that. You can spend a lot of money and be a disaster in baseball. So to me, therefore, the inverse can also be true. You cannot spend a lot of money and have success. Tampa Bay has done it 1,000 times. Cleveland has done it 1,000 times. Now I know they haven't won World Series doing it. But Milwaukee is showing a great way to do it. And, the Brewers, to me, are even a little bit different than Tampa and Cleveland. And maybe I have a little more familiarity with Milwaukee because they're in the league and we see them twice a year. But the way the Brewers have done it to me is probably the best way to do it because they have a program. They have a type, right? And Tony and I kind of joke about it on the air that they're all 5'7". But beyond that, it's they're going to play a high contact, athletic brand of baseball. They're going to put pressure on your defense. They're going to run around like crazy. They're going to play excellent defense. They're going to play the game, quote unquote, the right way. They're not going to make a lot of mistakes. And they're going to force you to make mistakes. On top of that, they're going to pitch like crazy. So, when we were all growing up, we're all generally the same age. And I imagine a lot of your audience is kind of in our general age range. There were teams that won games different ways. The Cardinals won a certain way. The Tigers won a certain way. The Yankees won a certain way. The Blue Jays won a certain way, whatever it might have been, right? We got into this thing because I think you had sort of this homogeneous sort of type of head of baseball operations in the last 15, 20 years, where everybody got into groupthink mode and everybody said, this is like a zombie. This is how you construct a roster. This is how you win baseball games. This is the only way to do it. And like, we got away from like, hey, there's different ways to win games. And now the Brewers are like, hey, there's other ways to do this. And they're going out and they're winning games in different ways. And to me, it's a joy. It's a great thing for the sport. It's a fun thing to watch. The Padres, by the way, also, I think, are one of those teams that are doing it, a little bit differently than the groupthink. And I finally believe in the last just couple of years, we're sort of like unshackling ourselves as a sport. Some of these teams are finally breaking away from that groupthink and doing it a little bit differently. And no team's doing it better or more obviously than the Milwaukee Brewers. They are real. I remember a conversation Tony and I had during a spring training game against them this year when some of the projection models had them not only finishing behind the Cubs, but behind the Pirates in the Central. And we were laughing at it. I said, I guarantee you that is not going to happen this year. This team will be very good again. Here we are. What is this? The middle of August? And they've got the best record in Major League Baseball. It's not smoke and mirrors. It's extremely real. I understand they don't hit a lot of home runs. I understand they haven't made it to the World Series during this little run here, but this is a very good, legitimate team, and they are not to be taken for granted in any way.
All right, Jesse, are you ready for your incorporator? We are on to the letter S. And Paulie, if you would give him his word to incorporate into tonight's broadcast.
Susurrus.
Susurrus. You heard of that one before, Jesse?
Susurrus.
Susurrus. It's a noun. It means a soft, whispering, or rustling sound. It's an onomatopoetic word. So, kind of the sound of the word kind of describes what it actually is. A susurrus, a soft, whispering or rustling sound.
I do love an onomatopoeia.
There you go.
Oh, me and you both, man.
I don't know. With the crowds at Petco Park, you don't get a lot of susurrus at Petco. You get a lot of loud noises, but this is a soft noise.
All right. Well, we'll have to find a way to incorporate it then.
Thank you, buddy.
Jesse Agler, thank you very much.
You got it. Thank you.
Jesse Agler, you can hear him tonight at 6:40. First pitch, 5:40 Eco Water SoCal pregame show. I believe it is Walker Buehler on the mound for game 2 of the series tonight against Kyle Harrison, another tough customer. That's another way, Paulie kind of whispered to me during Jesse's answer. Also, young, controllable starting pitching that's really, really good.
Controllable.
It's not just a bunch of gritty guys who run hard and get on base. They also have Jacob Pizarowski on their team. Not a bunch of
like reclamation projects, guys, and they're 36-year-old just trying to get one more year in the sun. No, they got really good young arms.
Yeah, like the whole Moneyball movie is, they did it a little differently and they used some analytics. They also had unbelievable starting pitching on that team that didn't even
Mark
get
Mulder,
mentioned
Tim
in the
Hudson, Barry Zito,
entire movie.
But let's focus on Chad Bradford for 3 hours instead.
No, Kyle Harrison was a guy that he was kind of a reclamation, like, hey, this guy needs to figure it out. He's got good stuff, but they take that guy and they make that guy better. The Padres have done that a ton. They've done that a ton with guys in the bullpen and starting pitchers as well. They've been able to figure out some of that secret sauce, maybe not to the level of the Brewers, but maybe they draft differently. They trade a lot of their picks as well. The Brewers do not, as you know. So whatever they're doing to develop pitching, it is top tier. And, Logan Henderson's a really good example of that. What they've done with Kyle is a really good example. And obviously you have Mizorowski who, he's a freak, but the guy went and made one adjustment in the offseason and is throwing 3 miles an hour faster with better control. I think literally all he did was like bend his back a little bit. And then the next thing you know, it's literally in his setup. They're giving a lot of credit to the Brewers for noticing that, hey, change this one little thing. And now he's unhittable almost.
Now, you rarely hear the name Logan Henderson, around the league much. And then you watch him and you go,
nasty.
That guy's nasty. That is nasty. That guy was a really good pitcher last night. So,
and they'll have all their big guns tonight too.
All their bullpen will be available again.
Yep.
The Padres can probably go back to back if they need to, but we'll see what Walker Buehler can do against Kyle Kyle Harrison tonight at 6:40. Already forgot his name. All right, we'll come back. We got a Rhino report. We've got Take on Wood still on our 9 o'clock hour coming up next on The Fan. Final hour of Ben and Woods here on a Tuesday. Got a Roundel report coming up. But just to put a bow on our conversation with Jesse Agler, Woods, I've been thinking during the break about what Jesse said and how the Brewers have found a little different way to win. And it certainly does seem to work for them in the regular season. But I wonder if in the playoffs, and maybe they'll have playoff success this year. It's pretty crazy in the postseason. But if your model is based on forcing other teams into, making mistakes, and when you get to the postseason, and then you are always facing the better teams who presumably got there because they don't make a lot of mistakes. And we saw the Padres not make a lot of mistakes. You have to play a pretty perfect game to beat the Brewers. But when you get to the postseason and you got locked in teams who are, ready to go, presumably playing their best baseball, looking for, all of a sudden the Brewers formula does not stand up quite as well in October against those kind of opponents. Now, that's just speculation on my part, but maybe it's not the most successful way to win in the postseason, where we've seen great pitching, usually like one or two long balls makes a huge difference, and they just don't hit home runs. I know they got Yelich yesterday, but they are dead last, 30th in home runs in baseball. It almost defies a modern baseball explanation that they are as good as they are.
Yeah, I mean, when you have to string 3 or 4 hits together to get a run, 3 hits together to get a run in the postseason, it's a tough recipe. But like you said, man, it's the postseason. You can find a team flat. You can find a team seeing it well, and anything can happen. It's so random when you get to October. And, obviously the better your bullpen is, the better your starting pitching is, and your ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Those are the teams that are scary.
No, but we saw yesterday what a good bullpen, solid starting pitching, and a crisp game can do. You can beat the Milwaukee Brewers with that formula. But I guess you can beat anybody with that formula. You play like, Padres played a good game. They got a couple of key home runs, and that was the difference last night. So we'll see how it goes tonight. I mean, I'm very happy. Padres find a way to win this series, win one of the next 2. You got to consider that successful against the Milwaukee Brewers, split the season series against a very good team. Walker Buehler tonight. We'll see how deep he goes. And then you've got Robbie Ray going tomorrow against Dustin May. So he'll hopefully bounce back the way Casey Mize bounced back from his first start as well. We'll talk more Padres baseball coming up. Right now, though, let's turn things over to Paulie for the Tuesday Roundel Report.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Roundel Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Roundel Report with Paul Reindl.
Hey guys, it's Paul here. Hi, Paul.
All right. 2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report.
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you? I'm good. How are you doing today? Okay, how are you?
On 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah?
All right.
All right.
All right.
All right.
All right. Happy Tuesday, gentlemen.
Happy Tuesday.
I want to get started in Major League Baseball. I want to revisit a story that we discussed earlier. I think it was in our 7 o'clock
MLB
hour.
Reach Around. Yeah,
MLB Reach Around. We had very bizarre scene yesterday between the Boston Red Sox and the Toronto Blue Jays. I think it said a 16-minute delay as they were trying to figure out the rules that happen, that are in place when a scoreboard issue is going on. Runners are scoring. Did they actually score? It was very, very confusing for literally everybody involved. I don't know that we had ever really seen something like this. And I thought, Ben, you did a pretty good job a couple of hours ago of explaining kind of how it all played out, and we were trying to make some sense of it all. I wanted to bring the audio of from the broadcast, from the umpire himself, because it's the most confusing thing I think I've ever heard of. Just, if you didn't see the play, listen to this umpire explanation. It's about a minute long or so. And
sounds like your kid's telling a story.
Yeah, no kidding. Here we go.
Yeah, all of you at home.
Okay. So what we have here is,
first of all, the way he starts with okay. Like, you already
minutes, though.
You already know that we are.
I believe this is Chris Guccione, by the way.
All of you at home. Okay. So what we have here is we have a time play, meaning when the third out was made at first base with the runner not tagging up. The runner that was on third base also did not tag, but crossed home plate before the third out was made at first base. So that is a time play. We are going to New York to do a rules check.
But he said he didn't tag up.
He didn't tag up.
If he didn't tag
All right, so now they go back to New York and think things over for a while.
Right.
Before they come up with the final decision about I mean, the explanation was could he get a sponsor read in there? Like,
Yeah,
hey,
for sure.
This
Brought to you by
explanation
Bill
is brought to you by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people take control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. All right, finally, they get word from New York.
Okay, so it's not that they're
deep
going back on the
discussion.
field. It's not an overturn.
First and third, one out.
Did the runner on third tag up?
First and third, one out. Center fielder catches the ball. It's 2 outs.
He never tagged up.
He's not tagging. He's not tagging. He's not tagging.
You can't go home.
We don't have the rest of the
He
explanation,
definitely
I
did not
guess.
go home. I mean, he definitely did not tag up, but that didn't matter because they never appealed at third base to say that he left early. Because that's the only way you can get an out when a guy leaves early is by appealing at third and asking the umpires if he left. And if you didn't, then that runner is assumed to have scored. And that's simply why they granted the Boston Red Sox the run in that situation. Didn't matter that he left early. You didn't appeal it because you all left the field thinking the inning was over. They should have gone to third base to pick him off instead of first, ultimately, what the Blue Jays mistake was getting the pick off of the guy at first rather than the guy at third.
Yep, they would have gotten that out. That run would not have scored. Don't think it mattered. Blue Jays won 2-1.
I'm glad that they've given the umpires microphones now in the last couple of years to try to explain it. Can't be the easiest thing in the world to just turn on that mic in front of however many thousands of people and try to explain something that even you're
So
not.
what we have here is we have a time play, meaning
He's like looking up, like trying to sort it out in his own brain as he goes. It was really funny.
Now, time play, we've seen that twice in the Padres games in the last couple of weeks where they have gotten the force out at first base. It was Campy on a Friday night, both times. I don't think we talked about it yesterday.
Yeah.
On both times, tags first, Campy's running to second, but all of a sudden the force is off. Runner from third is trying to score, so Campy stops. Gets down on the ground, and gives the runner time from third to score before he is tagged out. That's a time play, and it matters when the tag out happens
Very head
and
to
whether
lead.
the runner has scored at home. This essentially was the same thing. The runner from third had scored before they forced off the runner back at first base, not getting back in time.
Yes, exactly.
Time play.
Obviously.
Okay.
All right.
Clearly.
We will move on quickly in the NBA. The NBA was waiting for LeBron James to make his decision before they could actually come up with the schedule for the upcoming season that begins in about 2 months from now. They have not completed the full schedule. That's going to come out later this week, but the NBA did announce their opening night and Christmas Day schedule. So the Knicks, the champions, they are going to be featured on opening night. They're going to be taking on the Philadelphia 76ers.
Crazy.
Of course.
Yeah, LeBron James and the Sixers taking on Jalen Brunson and the champion Knicks. Probably everyone's going to be having that as your favorite for the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm going to head and call that one.
Wait, what did you say that game was, Paulie?
That's the opening night. That's October 20th. Opening night. Knicks,
Got it. Opening night.
Knicks
Okay.
raising their banners in front of the Philly, the 76ers and LeBron. And then LeBron will face his old team, the Los Angeles Lakers. The Sixers and Lakers will square off on Christmas Day.
Did you see the entire Christmas Day schedule that somebody laid out?
I got it right here.
It's a quintuple header again.
Yeah, 5
Well,
games on
not just
ESPN and
basketball.
ABC. Yeah, no,
not
it's
just basketball. The
you want the
football mixed in is fantastic.
the full schedule. I got to pull that one up.
What day of
I
the
got
week
it
is
right here.
Christmas this year?
Oh, it's a
The
good question.
Saturday?
Christmas is going to be on a Friday.
Friday.
Oh, it's on a Friday. Okay.
So 5
Yeah, so-
basketball
all right.
games.
It
Go ahead.
says Spurs and Knicks. I think this is on Eastern time, so 9 a.m. Packers and Bears starts at 10. Heat versus Celtics at 11:30. Bills versus Broncos at 1:30. Sixers at Lakers at 2 o'clock. Thunder versus Timberwolves at 5 o'clock. Rams versus Seahawks at 5:15. And then the Nuggets and the Warriors finishing it off at 7:30 p.m.
I do like Christmas Day sports. I really,
It's a
really
hell
do.
of a schedule.
It really is fantastic.
So you got all the NBA matchups there. They'll have the rest of the schedule released this week, but those are pretty much the 2 days of the regular season that anybody ever cares
And I believe
about.
the Thunder and Spurs will also play on opening night as the second game of the doubleheader, so a Western Conference Finals rematch.
I think it's a triple header, actually.
Oh, there's a third
Celtics
game?
and Pistons also play on opening night.
Didn't see that.
Yep, that's on NBC. All right, and then finally, it is the end of an era for any soda drinkers out there. 7-Up, don't know how popular it still is, but 7-Up has announced they're changing their formula.
Oh.
And they will no longer be a lemon lime soda.
Then it's not 7-Up anymore. That's weird.
That's what I thought. And then
what's it going to be?
Lime lemon soda.
Oh, for God's sakes, these companies. You know what? Just for that, I don't want to drink it anymore.
I know,
Are they really changing, or do they just kind of?
I felt
is
the
this just
same
a
way.
silly-
No, they are like tweaking their formula just a little bit. It's still going to be a citrusy soda, but instead of lemon lime, they're going to be more emphasizing lime lemon. It says here that the new recipe will start hitting stores soon, within the next couple of weeks. It will say lime lemon on the packaging, and they're also changing. This is like the zero sugar soda, the cherry 7-Up, cherry zero sugar. They're going to tweak all of the formula for everything. And it says here from the company, quote, by giving lime the spotlight, we're delivering a more refreshing taste experience. They say that 72% of Gen A and Gen Z consumers gravitate towards citrus forward flavors. Excuse me.
Citrus forward flavors.
Yes. Which lemon lime is also citrus forward.
Correct.
as lime-
Lemon is also citrus.
Is there
lime
any
is
generation that
citrus.
doesn't like citrusy flavors? I think that's pretty much all.
No, it's just Gen
humans
Z and Gen Alpha, actually.
Gen Z and Gen Alpha
on the
my
planet
God.
Earth like a citrus forward flavor, at least from time to time.
And then it says-
cherry 7-Up is so elite.
It
Oh
is
my
good.
God.
It says here
Oh
that
my God.
64% prefer bold, intense taste experiences. So they wanted to punch it up and emphasize more lime.
Who are the
than lemon.
36% who prefer?
I'm just
bland,
reporting the stats here, Ben.
uninteresting taste experiences.
I like mine to be bold. Put a little wasabi in mine. I like a bold flavor.
Yeah.
I always liked 7-Up. I'm more of a Sprite guy for sure, but 7-Up never bothered me. And when you're sick,
all right,
you know, you got the upset tummy, you get that.
Let me ask you: lemon or lime? Which one do you prefer?
If I had to
Lime.
If
pick,
you had to pick,
lemon.
lime. Lime for me. Lemon,
Yeah.
Paulie?
Well, like just in general.
Just as a flavor.
As a flavor?
And if you want me to judge you immediately, you just go, what's the difference? No, there is
Right.
there is a
No, it's
big
huge.
difference
No,
between the
I would
two.
go lemon. I probably use lemon more than I use lime in my life.
I use way
I
more
definitely
lime
prefer
than
lime. I use limes way more than I use lemons.
Okay.
100%.
You can't
And
like
when's this all happening?
Says here in the next couple of weeks. I did see a video of a social media person. They were doing like a blind taste test or whatever. And just by smelling them, she said the new soda did smell more limier.
Okay, it smelled limier.
Limier.
Great.
Yes.
Just what you want. I like it. To say something smells limier sounds worse than something smells lemonier.
Lemonier.
I will say
So
this.
we are now Woods and Ben, by the way. Woods
reconstitute
Ben,
our
the
formula,
Woods Ben. Yeah,
tweak it a little bit.
reconstitute
Change
the
it up a little
formula.
bit. We don't no
I'll-
longer Ben and Woods.
Right.
If
you're
I
Woods
order
Ben.
a fish taco and you
Yeah.
give me a lemon with it, and you say, "I'm sorry, we're out of
It's
limes,"
the same.
No, it's not.
Right,
I
it's
would have
not.
said
It's not the
then
same
I
at all.
wouldn't have
No,
come
no.
into your restaurant if I knew
Right.
you didn't have limes to squeeze on my fish taco. I'm not
That's
putting
true.
a lemon on this thing. There's no
That's true.
chance.
Yeah.
That's true. You're
It's got to be
absolutely
lime.
Right, right
Gotta be.
again. Thank you, Paulie.
You're welcome. I'm trying to think. We just had salmon the other night, so I put a little lemon over
fine.
my
I think
salmon.
lemon's better
lemon has
on
place.
salmon.
But
If
like,
you get fish and chips,
if they were
I
like,
go
here,
lemon.
have a lime with your salmon, I'd be like, no.
That's disgusting. You're right. There's
If someone
different
put a lemon
citrus
in
for
my
different
margarita,
fish.
I would look at them like they were insane. It's got
That's
to
right.
be a lime.
And if some kid was selling me a nice, cool glass of limeade on the corner, I would think he's a serial killer.
Fair enough. Although
Ninja
limeade
Swim
actually
says
is pretty good.
Says lime preference is a boomer thing. It is not a boomer thing, I don't think.
I mean,
Amazing.
Are we
let's
showing
just
our
see,
age again?
of the three of us, which two picked lime and who took the lemon?
True. The Gen Alpha. Are you Gen Alpha, Paulie?
No, I'm a millennial.
Oh, millennial. Okay. So they weren't even catering to you then.
Darling, let me tell you about the limes.
Oh, limeade gives me heartburn.
We're not very
lemonade.
Us millennials aren't very bolden with our citrus preferences, I guess.
That's true. Awesome.
All right. Yeah, I didn't realize that people in the chat are very opinionated about limes and lemons. And
I like them both, to be honest.
Well,
and mixed together, they're fantastic.
Yeah, there's definitely a
you
place
asked if
for
I
both.
had to pick one, I'd probably lean lemon. But yeah, there's certain situations where you can only have a lemon or a lime.
I can hear people's radios turning off right now. So let's go to break.
Well, we need a contestant again for Take on Woods. We didn't get it to it last hour, so we're going to get to it this hour. A chance to win instantly. We've got tickets to see Zach Top at Pechanga Arena on September 17th. If you'd like to be
Zach who?
Zach Top. Like Carrot's brother, Zach.
Right.
Top.
But he's a singer.
Yes, September 17th at Pechanga Arena. We got music, we got movies, we got television. 3 categories still available this week. If you'd like to be our contestant, 833-288-0973. 833-288 Zach Top 0973. I also would like to talk a little bit more about Joe Musgrove's return coming up in our last couple of segments, if you don't mind. It looks like we are going to see Joe Musgrove back with the San Diego Padres this season. And I think we're all really excited about that. We haven't seen him pitch in almost 2 years.
Wow.
But, and this is the big but. Padres are in a pennant race. They're trying to chase down a playoff spot. How much leash are you going to be able to give Joe Musgrove?
Sure.
When he does return? Because you can't expect him to be absolutely perfect the second he steps back onto the mound. And you know that if you can get Joe going, he would be.
You were teasing this.
He would be a tremendous asset for the Padres in the playoffs. I just want everyone to think about it. Like, what kind of runway are we really going to be able to give Joe Musgrove? When he does, if he does come back for the San Diego Padres later this season. We'll talk about that and more. We'll play Take on Woods to see the callers coming in all next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
First, I'll tell you about 7 Mile Casino. It's our place to play cards. It is so easy to get to. Right off the 5 freeway in Chula Vista. You get off at E Street, and you're already on the west side of the freeway. It's Bay Boulevard. Within about a quarter of a mile, you pull into the parking lot, get a spot. They got plenty of spots. You walk right in, and then in front of you is this just like magical wonderland for card players that you probably didn't even know existed, Woods.
Boom, smack dab right into a California-style blackjack table. Off to the right is your Texas Hold'em area. Back behind the California-style blackjack table, there's Pai Gow and Baccarat. Up by the, you go up a few stairs, like 3 or 4 stairs, and you're up in the beautiful bar area, and it leads out to an incredible patio where you can sit and take in a sunset or a sunrise if you so choose. It is 24/7. 7 days a week. You can get in there anytime you want and go play some cards.
Yep, 24/7 players. Menu is fantastic. Kung Pao Chicken. Woods loves the Asian pork chop with the slaw, or get the regular menu from Sammy's at 7 Mile with the pizzas, which are fantastic. Their pastas, their chopped salads. It's all available to you. And again, so easy to get to. 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Well, I guess I'm Ben Woods appear on our SDCCU fan hotline. It's not big bank banking. It is better. Got a big league Wednesday tomorrow. Should mean a Brett Boone appearance on the show. Did you see what Brett got to do over the weekend? They had
I did actually, yeah.
50 greatest Mariners in 50 years celebration.
It was a 50-year celebration, and I saw a few videos on Instagram of Booney and a bunch of other.
Now, did he participate? They had an alumni home run contest, and I know Ichiro supposedly participated, which everyone was excited about. I would think that Booney, but we'll get all the stories about Booney reuniting with all of his former Mariners greats over the weekend when he joins us tomorrow.
We'll also actually have Sammy tomorrow instead of Thursday this week.
Off to give Sammy the entire day off on Thursday. It's been 16 days for Padres to get an off day. So, all right, let's get to the game. It is time to play a little Take on Woods. Take on Woods, brought to you by Bail Alarms, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you. Got you about an hour later than usual, but we did have some people call back from our first hour. Appreciate that. Let's go with Scott today. Scott, would you like to be our contestant for Take on Woods?
Yes, I would.
All right. You have a chance to win instantly Zach Top tickets for Pechanga Arena on September 17th. Tickets are on sale now at AXS.com. But Zach Top. But you can win them by getting at least as many correct as Woods in our 5-question trivia challenge. You get to choose our category today. We've got music. It is Bet the Under, all 2-second songs with the word under in the title. We got movies, Action Arnold, 5 Arnold Schwarzenegger pictures. And we got TV, On the Job, 5 television series that's centered on the workplace. So music, movies, or TV. Scott, what would you like to play?
Let's do movies today.
Movies, Action Arnold. All right, 5 action movies starring former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. You'll have 60 seconds. Hey, nice, Paulie. You'll have 60 seconds to get as many as you can. If you don't know one, say pass. We'll come back to it if there's time left on the clock. First questions are 2-second movie clip. Paulie will play a short clip of Arnold. You need to tell me which movie it comes from to score the point. Scott, are you ready to play?
Let's do this.
All right, the category is action, Arnold. Let's put 60 seconds on the clock. Your time begins when we play our 2-second clip. Good luck, Scott. Let's take on Woods.
I'll be back.
Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
Correct. Arnold Schwarzenegger heads to Mars with an implanted memory in which 1990 science fiction blockbuster?
Total Impact.
Ooh, incorrect. Total Recall. Arnold plays Harry Tasker, whose wife doesn't know he's a secret agent in which 1994 James Cameron thriller?
True Lies.
Correct. Loosely based on a story by Stephen King, Arnold must survive a deadly game show hosted by Richard Dawson in a dystopian future in which 1987 movie?
The Running Man.
Correct. Arnold stars as James Kroger, a U.S. Marshal specializing in witness protection, trying to keep Vanessa Williams alive in which 1996 feature film?
Eraser.
Correct. I hope that the one misspeak doesn't get you on Total Recall as opposed to Total Impact. We'll see how Woodsy knows his Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, because you got a very solid 4, but it is beatable in a movie category. So we'll get Woods back into his home office studio. There he is, returning.
Yo.
All right, Woods, we got a movie category for you today.
Movies it is.
I'm confident you'll figure out the theme, so I'll just let you go to it. Scott's score is locked in. Let's put 60 seconds back on the clock. Your time begins when Paulie plays our 2-second clip. Good luck, Woods. Let's take on Scott.
I'll be back.
That's the Terminator.
Correct. Arnold Schwarzenegger heads to Mars with an implanted memory in which 1990 science fiction blockbuster?
Pass.
Arnold plays Harry Tasker, whose wife doesn't know he's a secret agent in which 1994 James Cameron thriller?
Oh, that's I love that movie. Oh God! Oh no! Pass.
Loosely based on a story by Stephen King, Arnold must survive a deadly game show hosted by Richard Dawson in a dystopian future in which 1987 movie?
Running Man.
Correct. Arnold stars as James Kroger, a U.S. Marshal specializing in witness protection, trying to keep Vanessa Williams alive in which 1996 feature film?
No idea, but what is the one?
Arnold Schwarzenegger heads to Mars with an implanted memory.
The next one.
Arnold plays Harry Tasker, whose wife doesn't know he's a secret agent in which 1994 James Cameron thriller?
All I can think of is Last Boy Scout, and it's not Last Boy Scout.
No, it's True Lies.
True
is the
Lies.
one that you're trying to think of. Very good movie. Jamie Lee Curtis, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Tom
Did I
Arnold.
get smoked?
You got 4-2. You lost. Yeah,
that was terrible.
He would have been 5 for 5, except he said Total Impact instead of Total Recall.
Total Recall,
which was the Mars one, and then Eraser was the tough one at the end with Vanessa Williams. So Scott, you did it. You have
done,
won
Scotty.
the tickets to Zach Top. Stay on the line, Paulie. Will get your information, and we will get that during the break. And then we will come back. We'll talk a little Joe Musgrove, get you ready for tonight's game against the Milwaukee Brewers. All coming up next. Ben Woods wrapping things up on a Tuesday on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Not that now.
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
it's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Final segment of Ben and Woods here on a Tuesday. I was mentioning to Paulie while you were waiting around for Take on Woods in our last segment, Brett Boone will join us tomorrow on a Big League Wednesday. And we were talking about Booney going up to Seattle for the 50-year celebration over the weekend.
Yeah.
And hanging out with Ken Griffey Jr. and Ichiro. And I heard they had like a home run derby for the alums, too. I didn't know if
before
Booney,
the game or something.
Booney participated.
Ichiro won it.
Everyone always said that if Ichiro wanted to be a power hitter, he would have been a great power hitter too. They said the same thing with Tony Gwynn as well.
Yeah, I mean, I would watch like batting practice. He would go early because, like, I remember as a kid, the Mariners, just like the Padres do, they always go first. So you got to get there right when the gates open, and you're still missing like half of your team's batting practice. But Ichiro would go up there and just hit tank after tank after tank. And I remember probably in like when I was in high school, like mid 2000s, there was a little bit of drama within the team where like they were saying, hey, we don't need you to be a singles like slap hitter leadoff guy. Just the way this roster is constructed, we need you to hit like third and hit some home runs. And he didn't really want to. He's like, nah, I kind of like being like the speedy leadoff slap hitter. But
I just
he
can't
had
imagine
the power.
I can't wrap my head around the ability to hit home runs and go, no, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
I mean,
I'll take some doubles in the gap.
Like
I
they
mean,
literally
I get
said
it.
he could pick and choose. Like, okay, I feel like hitting a home run here. Like he was
Wade
that
Boggs,
good.
They said the same about Boggs,
Yep.
the same about Tony,
Yeah.
the same about Ichiro. As somebody that's hit a career 3, maybe 4 home runs my whole life, I'll never forget those 4 moments. I mean,
I would have
liked to do that more.
If I remember correctly, had a conversation with Ted Williams kind of fairly late in his career about turning on the ball and adding more power. He hit 3 home runs in 1996, and then went the next year 17 and 16, the 2 highest of his career in 1997 and 1998. Didn't exactly hurt his average that much. He still hit 372 in 1997. Did go all the way down to 321 with his 16 homers in 1998, but also, he drove in 100. Tony had 119 RBI in 1997. That one season. He never had more than 119. Never had more than 90 in any other season, but decided to add a little power, a little pop to his game, and all of a sudden became a nearly 120 RBI player for that 1 year. So, I mean, it was in there all along.
Yeah, the whole time. That's wild. Absolutely wild. So, what did you want to say about Joe Musgrove, my friend?
Well, I asked the question, and I didn't want to get ahead of myself, but I actually have been thinking about this for a while if he did kind of return. And now that it looks like pretty darn close, 1 more, maybe 2 more rehab starts, and he's going to be back, what kind of runway should we be able to give Joe? And for a team that is on the cusp of the playoffs and every win is precious, is Joe going to be allowed to settle in at all with a couple of starts, a couple of clunkers? Because
I think he, just like anybody, I think, are you asking, will he get special treatment because he's Joe Musgrove?
I think I'm inclined to go, he's Joe, got to give him time to get going. But the Padres can't afford like 3 bad starts from any starter at this point in the season. That could cost them the playoffs quite easily. So, yeah, if he goes out the first time and it looks a little rough and rusty, of course I'm going to expect that. And then he's going to get another shot. If the second start doesn't go great, I don't want to just pull the plug, but also, I'd be very hesitant to go, okay, let's give him a 3rd start here, because now you're in territory where this may cost us a playoff spot. Maybe Joe will come back and, be awesome because he's Joe Musgrove and he's just cool and he's the best and we love him. But it is something that I would be a little worried about if I was AJ Preller and Craig Stammen. How are we going to handle this? This is a guy who's very important, very loyal to our team, very important to the community. We have to treat this right when he comes back.
Well, I think, honestly, you're overthinking it. I think, you are getting ahead of yourself in the fact that it's not like he's starting tomorrow. I think he's still got some work ahead of him. And, but yeah, man, obviously you get down to the end of the season, you throw him out there and you trust that he's a veteran. And even if he doesn't have his best stuff, he'll be able to gut through 3 to 4 innings. I don't think they need him to be a 6-7 inning guy. I don't even think they need him to be a 5-inning guy to be successful. So
it's not what Joe said yesterday. Joe said they need me to be a 6-inning guy. So I don't think they do. That's what he's coming back to try to do. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But that's what Joe said in the scrum yesterday, that he is, in his mind, focusing on coming back as a guy who can definitely give you 6 when he returns.
I mean, again, I think tap the brakes. Nobody even goes 6 anymore. Milwaukee's losing their mind about Logan Henderson going 7 last night and he got touched up. So I think Joe is just another weapon in the arsenal. And he's a guy that's been in huge moments for this team. So that helps him tremendously. I could totally see him pitching out of the bullpen in the playoffs. Honestly, I really could. And, kind of all hands on deck here.
So you got to get there first.
It's exactly right. You got to get there. So
nothing's really set in stone, but I don't think he's looking for another 3 to 4 inning starter. I think he wants, a starter that can pitch postseason games and somebody that can give us some length down the last month or so of the season. So that's ultimately what I want. I want to get back in games. So if it was getting back sooner at 3 innings, I would take that. But I think having the assistance of Robbie and Casey, showing up at the deadline gives us a little bit more leeway to stretch those guys out a little bit more and give myself and Nick and, give us the time that we need to get built up to a normal starting depth. So I'm hoping, 1 more start, maybe back here at 75, 80 pitches. I think I threw around 55 yesterday. So significant jump. It's usually a 10 to 15 pitch jump every outing. So doing the math, it sounds like 2 more, but maybe 1 more if I'm super sharp.
All right. So, Joe thinks 2 more, maybe 1 more rehab start if he's super sharp. And then if you get a super sharp Joe Musgrove, then this discussion's absolutely silly. You put him right in your starting rotation and you lean on him down the stretch and in the playoffs. I'm just wondering, is it reasonable for us to expect him to be super sharp after not pitching in the big leagues for 2 years?
Never, ever, 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 ever. Never expect anything, honestly. And I like they're saying in the chat, Joe's got the ace mentality, 100%. Like you would never hear a Justin Verlander or a Max Scherzer being like, yeah, just if they need me for 3 or 4, I can bridge the gap.
Right, but this is what I'm worried about. The ace mentality works against you in this situation because he's going to be confident. He's going to tell Craig Stammen and AJ Preller, give me the ball. I'm going to be a dog. I'm going to go out there. That doesn't mean that he is going to be super pinpoint and have everything right.
Yeah, but they'll know if he's ready to go or not. But I mean, it's not like they're going to pass
it. It doesn't mean Craig Stammen's going to be like, I gotta leave him out there. Like he's not sharp, but I have to leave him out there because he's Joe Musgrove. I don't think you'll see that at all.
Which was the basis of my discussion. Like you might have to make a tough decision or two on pulling Joe a little earlier than you want to, and just being really careful when he comes back. And that's okay. That's all right.
I hope they are. I hope they are. I hope that that we're able to take Craig. For any faults that he's had as a rookie manager, we talked about it yesterday. The ability, communication skills, whatever it took to get Xander Bogaerts in a room and say, "Hey, man, you're my 8-hole hitter," and Xander going, "Okay, I'm going to do it." And he's moved guys around. I think too, having that ability to communicate, having done that job pitched, in situations where he can go to Joe Musgrove and go, yeah, like, of course I had to pull you. Like you weren't sharp, like you know that you're just coming back. I think Craig may be more suited for this than any manager we've had in the last few years, to be honest with you. So I'm not worried about it, Benny, in the slightest. I just look at it. If we get a healthy Joe Musgrove back, that bolsters our chances tremendously, I think.
I agree with you about Craig Stammen. And the fact that Joe and Craig were teammates for quite a while as well and have a good relationship from everything that I've seen should smooth out that process of getting Joe back in the right situations and, in the right usage. And, again, if a healthy Joe Musgrove helps this team immensely, of course.
I think so too. I think so too. And anywhere, that they feel that they need to use him, I think that's what they do.
Joe in the chat asked, what was the velo on his fastball? I believe he said he was sitting 94 comfortably and was touching 95, 96.
That's what he said. Yeah, he said mostly 94, but there was maybe a tick of 95 or 96, which is plenty for Joe to be effective on the big league level with his pitch mix. So that's not velocity. And if he bounces back like he says he is bouncing back and feeling good, there's really no reason not to throw him out there in the next couple of weeks and at least give him a shot. Tonight, Padres will face Kyle Harrison on the mound. 9-2 with a 2.84 ERA and a 1.04 WHIP. He's been fantastic. He's coming off an outstanding start last Wednesday. Went 5 innings, allowed just 1 hit, and struck out 10 Pittsburgh Pirates and walked just 1 his last time out. So he has been really good. Last couple starts before that, he gave up 3 runs to the Cardinals in 4 innings and 3 runs in just 2 2/3 innings to the Arizona Diamondbacks. So not perfect, but other than one real clunker where he gave up 8 back in June to the A's, and that was in Sacramento. So probably throw it out the window. Guy has basically been guaranteed 0, 1, or 2 runs in almost every other start this season in his first 4 months of the year. So don't expect a lot of runs off Kyle Harrison.
You were talking about the Brewers and what they do so well, and if you look at his numbers, I mean they've basically shaved a run and a half to 2 runs off of his ERA, his career ERA, Ben, which is not an easy task. Whatever they identified in what he has, it's really he's taken to it. He gets a lot of punch outs. He doesn't walk a lot of guys, so he's around the zone. And it's funny, man. You look at it. This is the symptom of the game these days. You're looking at his fastball velo, and he sits about 95. And of course, that slider, would not be 10 years ago. That would have been red. Now it's like kind of gray. He's like at 58th percentile of fastball, throwing 95 miles an hour. But yeah, dude, he's pretty nasty. He's essentially four-seam kind of curve slurve type sweeper pitch, and he'll mix in a change and a sinker rarely, But yeah, man, he mixes it really, really well. And like I said, whatever they've unlocked in him, it's worked. And he's like a totally different player.
Lefty. So will we see Austin Hayes in the starting lineup for the first time? I would think so. Maybe you can't take Jackson Merrill out. Even lefty is way too hot. But you could. Obviously, Gavin Sheets hit a home run, but probably keep him on the bench to start the game. Rengifo could be your designated hitter in that situation. Then, Jake will probably have to start at second in that case, put him down in the order. I wouldn't be surprised if he's batting like 8th or 9th just to avoid Harrison a third time, maybe through the order. So, yeah, might see Austin Hayes out there for the first time. That's why they got him, to be able to face left-handed pitchers and perhaps deliver a little bit of pop. So we'll see what Craig Stammen comes up with the lineup for today. And, of course, it'll be Walker Buehler on the mound for the San Diego Padres, making the start. And after, the really rough, 3 starts in a row in the middle of the season, Walker Buehler has been pretty effective in his last 4 starts. So, Padres will need more of that from Walker Buehler tonight to keep this a manageable game.
Yeah, lefty's hitting 223 off of Harrison. And hitting 210, righties hitting 210 off of him and much more.
So neither side really having much success against him.
Yeah, correct. He's given up a total of 10 home runs all year. So then, you're going to need some breaks to go your way tonight, I think. And again, nothing against Walker Buehler. He has shown a lot of resolve this year, but this is one that you feel like, all right, let's see what happens. Throw it at the wall and see what happens today. Because if you were a betting man, Benny, and I'm not, you would probably put your money on the Milwaukee Brewers tonight.
Yeah, and I wouldn't call those necessarily reverse splits, even though righties are hitting a little lower, but it is interesting.
A lot more ABs.
Padres did face a couple of guys recently who had true reverse splits, and that's always a dicey proposition when you're trying to construct a lineup. Like, all right, what do we do when a lefty is really better against righties than he is against lefties? Do we still put the righties in the lineup, or are we going to put more lefties out there? I wonder, like a switch hitter like Luis Rengifo.
Yeah.
They never, because they're just not used to it. But if a guy is truly reverse splits, do you ever consider going lefty-lefty or righty-righty rather than the other?
You've seen it before.
It's pretty rare.
It's happened before.
I mean, we always hear the story about Pete Rose and Randy Jones. Couldn't hit him right-handed, so he decided to try it left-handed and couldn't do it there either. Just threw the ball too bleeping slow for Pete Rose was how the story always went.
Yeah, Angelo says too. You can play Toddy. At second base.
That's true. It could be a Tatis at second base day. That's absolutely true.
God, when was the last time we saw that? It's been a while now.
We saw it once last week, but there's only once since Jake's come back.
Yeah.
He's really been back right field mostly full time.
Nice, dudes. All right, well, I'll be back tomorrow in studio. I'll bring the equipment so I don't get tempted to broadcast from home again. It's pretty nice.
Did you make a decision after today on the bus? Is the bus happening tomorrow for the kids?
Buses, I don't think it's going to happen. The people from in Leucadia all complained because they reversed the time, and we were getting picked. They were going to be getting picked up too early. So our kids, if they wanted to take the bus, would have to be down there at 7:05. They're not even really out of bed till about 7. So I don't think the bus is going to work out in our favor.
At the Woods household, they're not out of bed until 7. I just assumed they were up at 4 a.m. every day.
Taylor's usually up at 4, but Bo sleeps in a little bit longer. But happy days, happy back in school for all the parents out there and the teachers. Thank you for what you do. Certainly appreciate you.
Did see a couple of more Amazon wish lists going out. And again, you can always send those to our social media channels. We try to amplify those and make sure teachers get the support they need as they're trying to stock their classrooms for the new school year coming up. There's no way we can help everybody. Obviously, tier ones are generous, but if there's a few of them out there that we can amplify at least, please send them to us and we will continue to do that.
And if there's any profession 100%. That should not have to pay for their own stuff, I'd say it's teachers.
It.
Yes.
That's it, 100%.
And radio host. I don't want to have to buy my own microphones.
Right. You should buy like your own headphones though and stuff.
Cameras.
That's true.
Well, no, I let Woods bought me these as a Christmas gift.
I know you don't buy your own stuff,
right. But I've never bought my own pair of headphones in my life.
That's crazy.
Is that right?
It's true.
Is that right?
This is my first
you have like 40 years of combined like television.
This is my actual first owned pair of headphones because they were gifted to me.
Such a cheapskate.
I know. All right, just leave. Cut him off. He's done.
Bye.
All right. That's it. We will be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. Braden and Kyle coming up next. Frankie apparently a little under the weather. Hope he's feeling better. For Paulie Woods, I'm Ben. Have a great rest of your day here from all of us at 97.3 The Fan.